back, everybody, to now Chapter 2 of Rolling Until Ragnarok. Today we actually have a couple announcement thingies, and I'm pretty excited about them. But first, everybody say hi. We have the full group here for a hello this time. That's kind of cool. First off, we have our now kind of like long-term sponsor in Clutch One. It is a gaming brand that is dedicated to making your hands more grippy and not sweat or anything like that. The link's in the bottom. It'll be in the description a whole bunch. You should definitely check it out. They have a bunch of really cool scents. My favorite one is Cherry Blossom because I grew up in Maryland and it smells like Maryland. It's wonderful, which is a good thing. It's not Old Bay. It's Cherry Blossoms. Go away. Anyway, the second thing.
Would be pretty dope, though.
Actually, yeah,
But
Old
you're
Bay.
from Baltimore. It should be Old Bay.
Old Bay smellings, anything I will
Yeah.
take. That would be amazing. I'm not gonna get off topic though. Stop it. Anyway, the sponsor of this episode is Smith Talent Acquisition. It's a one-stop shop for finding and applying to college-level esports programs. With their help, you can connect with top recruiters, access a whole bunch of valuable resources, and basically get one step closer to doing anything in the esports industry. I personally am from the esports industry. It is something very niche down to get into. It's also super confusing, and there isn't a whole lot of information out there. And a lot of the information does come from people that are trying to take advantage of you. And Smith Talent Acquisition is one that isn't. I know for a fact because I met the owner. He's a really great guy. His name's Sam. He's really doing this kind of out of a generosity standpoint because he just graduated himself a couple years ago and was a professional esports player for his college. You should definitely check out the website below. You can schedule a consultation call. It's free. He gives you a ton of great information. And if you are in high school right now looking to do that, it's a ton of great help. And yeah, he's an awesome guy. We ended last with you guys going to sleep or reading books and getting through the night. I believe, if I remember very specifically, Bramble is dead asleep because she's hungover now. Eli just kind of did his whole sleep thing. Everybody kind of had their night. That's my point. Kasha, just to make sure I fully am aware, though, you went to sleep on top of the inn on the roof so that you could look over everything and kind of watch, but you did fall asleep on the roof. That is where you were at, right?
Correct.
Very good. That is what I thought. Just wanted to make sure as I have my opening ready. So, it's very early in the morning. Probably a little bit earlier than Kasha even wakes up before she does her calisthenics. You hear a giant horn blow. Kasha, this would kind of pique you because while you recognize it, it is something you haven't heard in a while. Not as long as 12 years for you because, you know, that went by like that for you. But it is on a horn as a massive ship pushes into port to make dock. The ship is made of sleek, weathered, dark wood that looks like it's seen way more than its fair share of days at sea. But even then, the planks are like this rough-hewn, like very, like you can tell this is a ship that is put together of many other ships. You would recognize it because the figurehead on it is the symbol for the vault, the guild that you're from. That being said, this ship is much larger than any ship that you would have known them to have. As it pushes into port, the whistle goes off. It pretty much would wake up almost anybody that is asleep close to this. This is a very loud, like beyond a foghorn. This is a magical, like this is them announcing their presence. The many-mast sail ship would pull down the sails as you would hear Duvall almost over a loudspeaker type of thing speak. He looks a little bit differently than you remember him, though. Before he was kind of a portly, kind of I'm just here to be a liaison kind of guy. Half like prairie dog, half boar looking gentleman. He still has his tusks, but he has a little bit more of an upper body. This is kind of like it's like when somebody with a dad bod gets buff and he still kind of has like the belly, but everything else on him is kind of like built. And he still has like his very heavy fur, but it's kind of grayed out now around his tusks, and he doesn't look as bumbly as he did before. Like before, he always kind of like messed around, like he always looked like he was minorly drunk. But he has a little bit more of a commanding presence to him. I think that you would notice it, Kasha, very, very easily, very quickly, as over his like tone of voice, he'd use his magic to do this loudspeaker type of thing. Because, as you know, Duvall's main set of magical skills is in connecting people. So anything that has to do with communications, that's why he's here. And you'd hear him very loud. Hello, Port Madison. The vault is here. Do not fret. We've brought food, and we are here. We are here to protect you, like always, just like before. Yes. And you see as all these people start pouring out of the ship, bringing these large crates of, like, basically seaweed-based food, because the vault has had the same problem that everybody else has, but their goal is to keep everybody safe in this part of the world, and he's doing his best to provide for Port Madison, being the largest place in the northern part of Omni. Kasha, go ahead. It's your morning.
When I see that and hear that, I'm basically going to jump down off the roof and head over to Duvall and basically wave to him and greet him. Be like, wow, you've grown.
Kasha, it's amazing to see you. Where have you been for 12 years? Do you mind? He would look around like this is a joke.
Just in a box.
Box. Oh. Yes, we did send you to... Did you bring that box back by chance?
Oh, we killed the box.
Right. Well, are you... Did the others live?
Oh, everyone's alive.
Ah, fantastic. Okay, well... Our chairman would... our patron. I'm sorry. I need to stop calling him the chairman. He is now the patron of the vault. I really... So... He would kind of like level with you. You know, one of the reasons I'm here is because there's a lot happening in the world, and I'm supposed to recruit more people for the vault. Because there's a lot of really bad shit happening.
So you guys didn't come here to help?
I'm helping. Look around. We're doing our damnedest to help.
Kasha's just gonna like heavy sigh and nod and be like, okay, let me introduce you to the people who killed the thing most recently. The new town.
That wasn't you.
We were in a box.
You know, I feel like I will have to know more about this box. He's going to take one of the blue melons out of his pocket and just bite into it as he talks to you. This is more on form for him, for what you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's a whole new set of heroes.
That's great. We definitely need more. There's a lot happening. But I think that I should leave that to our patron to talk to you about, mostly because I don't know enough about what I'm speaking of.
Kasha's literally just gonna turn her head to the side, like the whole cat dog thing. Just
wonderful. Please, yes. You will have to introduce me. This is great. Ash. I guess my question is, would a very loud foghorn type of thing wake you up?
Yes. But I don't think that she would She'd be pissed that she was just woken up. I don't think that she'd care enough to like go see what it was. She was absolutely shit-faced the night before. Like nearly fell into the fire. Like
Right.
she was
I remember that.
gone. So the fact that someone is trying to wake her up, she would have probably rolled back over.
Very good, very good. You rolled back over. Whisper, you are in the library with Meryl and Thistle. You would recognize the horn as well. This is, I mean, you are a very prominent member of the vault, and being one of the older ones, you would definitely have, you would recognize the horn, basically. So we'll go to you, man. You finished reading your book about, about Wish and your sword, and probably watched as Meryl attempted to stay up all night reading and fell asleep on you. But by all means, please, talk to me about what you do. Thistle as well. I believe that you probably are. You'd probably still be awake, but you can go ahead and decide for yourself whether you stayed awake or not. Same with Meryl. I'm, being silly, of course, but you all did talk about how big and soft and fluffy he was and how you'd probably fall asleep. So I'm going to keep going with that. But you three, by all means, please give me what would happen as this morning sound off began.
So hearing the horn and knowing what it was, because I feel Whisper would immediately like kind of not jump up, but like stand up cautiously, knowing that he's still being slept on at this moment. And he would just slowly make his way to the front of the library, basically carrying Meryl on his back.
Aww.
And he would peek his head out the door, look over, and be like, "Oh, there's people."
Yeah, so as you peek out the library, you do have a full, because the library is a really small, library. I did explain that. It's a little tiny, nook in the wall. You would have, a clear shot down to where the docks are. You would see tons of these, helper, the crew from the vault ship. They have, a much more fancy version, but still, an official, uniform with, the vault symbol on it. You see the crook and the giant hammer with the doors behind it, which is the symbol of the vault, and them pushing up through the main thing with these giant boxes of different types of dried seaweed snacks and fish bits that you would normally use for chum, but this is what they were able to get. And then you would also smell really deep sea fish on the breeze, and know that they're also bringing other fish, bigger things, but it's all fish and seaweed at the end of the day. But there are a good 15 or 20 boxes being offloaded, large crates. Normally this would be the time that the vault shows up to do the market, which is they have that they have a market twice a year, but once right before the winter time. And this is normally when everybody shows up to do this whole big marketing thing. But because of the way the world was, it just never happened. So that being said, the ship is still much larger than you could ever remember, Whisper. This is definitely something very interesting to you. Cherry Moss, which is where the vault is located, is made up of a ton of wrecked ships. So this is seeing a piece of Cherry Moss show up here. And that's how big this is. This is a ship that could hold other smaller ships inside of it if it wanted to give you an idea of how large this mass ship is. It has to be being cobbled together through magical means by some manner at this point. And it would probably be a little bit oh, wow, you would never imagine the vault having something like this from the origins that you all came from. When you guys were there were maybe 10 members of the vault. And now this is an entire crew of 30 that are just offloading this with Duvall. And you would hear him, but you would be able to hear him over the air, but you wouldn't be able to. You'd have to like pad your way down to the docks to find him.
Oh yeah, seeing the large ship and all the crew members, knowing that they're all from the vault, seeing the symbols and everything, Whisper would immediately start walking his way down to the docks, being very careful not to wake Meryl up, because she was reading all night long, and by God, do I not want to
wake a chipmunk up.
As soon as I get to the docks and I see Duvall, I'd be like, he would hear me say in his head, "Why do you look like that?"
Look like I've always looked like this. I'm very hearty. Yes.
No, you haven't.
I will have to agree with Kasha with this one.
Okay, well, you all disappeared, and there weren't a lot of people left. I had to go on missions myself. I wasn't allowed to just do the thing I was hired to do anymore, but everything for the good of Omni. He'd like shake his head and think about it and be like, definitely be like, yeah, that's about right.
I'd look over to Kasha and be like, so what's going on?
They brought food and they want to recruit new heroes.
Seeing that happen, Thistle, what are you doing?
I was gonna say, a part of all of that, I feel like Thistle's pretty used to staying up all night reading, so I don't think she would have gone to sleep. But following Whisper going outside with Meryl and hearing a loud horn, she would be interested to see what was actually going on. So she would have followed them out there to the docks.
Awesome. So I think Duvall would look over, see you, Thistle. And then kind of, I think as he was greeting Thistle, he would also notice Meryl being asleep on the back of Whisper. While Duvall is not unused to Whisper having people ride around on him, I think that he would be very just excited to see you guys in general. Like, these are 3 people that for the past 12 years Duvall thought was gone. Whisper, it's so good to see you again. Oh my goodness. You are not the red panda that was with them last time. Right?
Oh no, these are the new heroes that we met.
Fantastic.
We should probably find their dad. Don't go negotiating with them directly. I don't know if they're old enough. In Kasha's brain, Eli is their dad.
Right. Oh. Right. It's fantastic to meet you. I am Duvall, the liaison for the vault. You?
My name is Thistle. Very nice to meet you, sir.
Fantastic. He would like take your paw and shake it, but like in a very dainty way, like very much like you are a lady type of thing. Yes, and your new friend, as he like tries to like think over what he could say to a wolf, with a chipmunk riding him.
Oh yes, this is my friend Meryl.
Mom, 5 more minutes, please.
Your daughter is still very tired.
Not daughter.
From what I've heard, though, you all have had... Oh, not your daughter. Great. From what I've heard, you all have had a wonderful... You all did a great service. I would love to have you come back to the vault and possibly take on some more tasks. I know that this is so sudden, but we are currently looking for adventurers and heroes, and it seems that you have... You've done what I sent Kasha to do the first time. It would seem that you guys might be right for that task, yes?
I mean, I definitely feel like Thistle would feel very confident in herself after having accomplished all of this. So she would be like, yeah, sure, absolutely, yes. 100%.
Wonderful. He'd lean in again to Kasha. So, is Ash still here?
Oh, they're probably still sleeping.
Right, yes. Of course. Let me see. I believe I still have some of our mead left. That is normally what we do, right? That's how we wake her up.
That does work well.
Fantastic.
Whisper would say,
We
"You
used to do
probably
last week
already
when we
woken
tried
her
it."
up. You probably pissed her off too."
I have not done anything of the sort. She's never mad at me. I always have mead.
At this point, Ash would have already come outside. No one would have noticed her. She's on all fours, like walking on all fours, like a little panda,
Yep.
towards the group. As he's talking, she's gonna come up behind him, and she's gonna all four claws wrap around him, and she's gonna bite him on the back of the calf as hard as she can.
Ah!
See, you
It's
pissed
so
her
funny
off.
because I was about to tell him that she still bites.
Well,
See, you were
Ashlyn,
right.
it's
He
so nice
always
to
wakes
see
her
you
up.
again. He's just going to call you a whole bunch of different versions of Ashley. I'm just letting you know.
Oh my god. She's gonna let go of him, and she's gonna say, "Hey, Duvall."
Right.
Ball.
Oof. Man, you are sober. And he's gonna raise his hand and like spin it in a circle and be like, "Can we get the mead? Can we get the mead in the blue water, please? Please." There's a little
She's
tiny
gonna
thing.
let go of him, and then she's just gonna give grabby hands to the people that he just talked to.
You'll see as like these people come running down. They give him this little tiny. It's like a very small container in his hand, like it's almost like a cup size. And then they would put down like a large wooden keg of just mead next to him, and he'd be like, "Fantastic breakfast for you, Ash." Great. Kasha, you said we have to talk to their father.
I
Let's.
forget, where was he staying? I saw him go somewhere last night.
Wonderful. Let's go over to Eli and Bramble. It is the morning.
Eli is used to being up early, dealing with sailors, and just like having to be up to like run his tavern. So I'm sure he's been up for a minute. He's taking coffee from somebody, and he's just finding a place. Like, he would have looked out whenever the horn went, and I imagine he would have saw Whisper and everyone making their way down there. So at this point, he's probably just sitting somewhere in the room waiting for Bramble to wake up. Like, not going to leave Bramble behind, but also not feeling the need to wake her up yet, because it seems like it's still early and everyone else is accounted for as far as I can tell. So
Awesome.
he's trying to avoid having to talk to anyone or do anything as long as possible.
Very cool. I think that to follow suit with Chapter 1, our first roll of Chapter 2 will be Bramble. Please roll me a Constitution saving throw.
All right. Okay, well, we
energy.
rolled a 20, right? So I have high hope.
energy.
Time to be absolutely hungover.
Okay, so he said it's a saving throw?
Yep. It'll be a gradient to see how hungover you are.
Okay.
But it's saving because of something that's going to happen if it's not high
That
enough.
is a 13. I'm already
13.
over 10 today. Woo!
Okay, cool. So the reason I had it be a save is because if it was below 10, I was going to have you wake up very groggy and throw up. You don't have to do that. On a 13,
great.
on a 13 you wake up still hungover, mind you. But
Right.
this is also the first time Bramble's ever been hungover. Morgan, I imagine you've been hungover in real life. So, let's go ahead and just tell me how Bramble would react to the very first time she opens her eyes and the light is too bright for her to be alive.
First off, right, I plead the fifth on the first comment. And second of all, I think, so like when she opens her eyes, right, it's just like this bright, like blinding light, like everything's like really blurry. And, you know, there's all this like noise and stuff going on. And I feel like she would have started off in the bed, but somehow she's waking up on the floor, right? And like, I don't think I would like notice, like Eli or anything like that. I feel like I would like try and like crawl over someplace like to the back to the bed or like to a dresser or something to kind of like help myself like get up and like stand. Feel a little bit shaky and have like this pounding headache and just be like, oh God, is this what adults do? This fucking sucks. Like, and then like,
Bramble to get up. Eli will go over and kind of help Bramble to her feet and be like, all right, champ, walk it off. And I'll go into my component pouch and I'll give you some mint leaves to chew on just to kind of help wake you up and help kind of clear your head a little bit. But
no, look, Bramble would be really, really embarrassed. But like she thought she was alone in the room, and then like for Eli to come over and like like touch her, she'd be like, "Oh my God!" And then like you'd offer her leash, she'd be like, "I'm good. Yeah, we're great. Adults, yes, we can do this." Like she would like try and like put on this like brave face, like we should go find the rest of the party. Like still trying to like stand up. Like she's not accepting help from Eli. She is now an adult and it's official.
all right, kid. Well, here, sip some of this coffee and let's. You might want to prepare yourself because we're still inside a building. If you think this is bright, you haven't gone out until the morning sun yet. So, you sure you're all right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're great. No problems whatsoever. I could drink a lot more for forever. Yep.
I mean, I've got the blue water left in my flask right here if you'd like some.
Before breakfast?
You're right. What was I thinking? All right, Bramble. And I'm going to kind of scoop Bramble to the door. And Eli's smugly laughing under his breath this whole time because he's very much like, all right, you want to be an adult? Let's do this then.
Right.
As you guys reach the door and open the door to the inn / like I believe I said it was like the like where you buy all the like fishing gear and stuff like that. You open the door and Duvall and Kasha and the whole group is already there. And as Duvall sees you and Kasha kind of like points that this is the guy, Duvall in a very jolly loud way would be like, "Oh, well, wonderful. It's a great morning to meet you, sir. I've talked to your children and I was told that I have to talk to you."
Rewind. Pause. What
You had
was that about children?
Oh, is this another one of them? And he gestured to Bramble.
That's my dad.
If for some reason they think that we're your kids, I've tried explaining it. I don't know.
I feel like in this moment it would be Meryl shoots up and she's like, "Oh, don't take my books!" You're like, "There's more people here."
Good morning, Meryl.
Good
morning!
Right. He'd look over to Thistle.
Whisper.
He'd look over to Thistle and be like, "Your not daughter just woke up. I hope that everything is okay. Nobody has your books, young lady. I think you still have them."
Actually,
Okay,
she has
thank
one
God.
of yours. Well,
One of mine.
Well, technically mine. Someone
Technically
dropped
the
it.
one you threw in the water.
I
Oh!
did not throw anything in the water. It dropped. It was, I wrote very nice things in that book.
And then you threw it in the water.
Are you
Are
Mr.
you not
Duvall?
telling people I'm your dad?
No.
Are you my
He just
dad?
assumes
Are
it.
you?
Originally he thought Meryl was my daughter.
I didn't think I had parents. Are you my dad? Are you been holding out on me, Eli?
Apparently I'm your mom.
Hi!
Okay, Alex, roll intelligence.
No, that's not.
This is all like
All right,
too much for
look.
Bramble first thing. It's just like, okay.
Intelligence? Fuck. Okay.
Okay, well,
Thought you just made
I'd be like,
family.
that's enough of that. Duvall, what are you
16!
doing?
Ash is gonna say that parents are overrated.
I think that you would imagine that this is probably not your father. So
Like, oh no, he's not my dad.
Oh, I'm very confused. That's
I'm
fine.
also confused, but I'm pretty sure about that.
If anyone had a claim to calling me an adoptive dad, I think Meryl's first in line. Because everyone else has dads that I'm still supposed to get y'all back to.
Oh, so these aren't your cluster of children. Do people just
These
give
are
you
the
their
kids
kids
I'm in
too?
charge of for this
That
field
has to
trip.
be the most annoying thing.
People just give you their kids too.
Do
Are we
you end up
annoying?
having to take care of other people's
Not
kids
yet.
too?
I don't know. I
cannot
don't know about
tell you the
annoying.
number of times I have been given random children.
Why do people do that?
I am an adult.
You out, sir.
Adult. Not a child.
Exactly.
I
We were
don't know
very
how old I
helpful
am.
this whole time.
No one said you weren't helpful. The whole thing was other people giving their kids away.
You know, from what I've heard, you all are heroes, though, and I think that trumps the child tag, don't you? Don't you?
I 100% agree.
They
Thank you.
certainly are heroes.
Fantastic. And you all are going to come back to the vault with us and meet the patron and work some more, yes?
Ash is
No,
still
that's
attached to
absolutely
Duvall's
not
We're the
happening.
leg.
heroes
No,
again,
you're-
right, Bramble?
No, you're not. You're all going home because this was a one and done trip and your families are expecting you. Meryl,
But now,
He was mad.
Now,
sir,
the elders are expecting you. Everyone has to get back to Coldmeadow.
Duvall is going to interrupt Eli completely, and he's going to and he's going to put his hand out and be like, don't you understand though that now that you've tasted victory, it can be something that you help bring balance and peace to the rest of Port Madison and this area? There are other things happening and adventures that await you. All we need is for you to get on that ship. And he's going to point down, and he's going to point backwards. It's a building. The ship is down the way somewhere. He's literally just being very, very extra at this point.
Ash is still attached to Duvall's leg, and she's just gonna tap him. She's gonna take like a second break from drinking the alcohol he gave her. And she's just gonna tap him, and she's gonna be like, is there more of this on that ship?
Of course, I would not come here without enough for me, and there's definitely more. I mean, I can share. Yes, we have more. We have more. And he's gonna
let him go,
hand
and
her.
She's gonna walk to the ship.
He's just gonna hand you a melon.
She is gonna pocket that or put it wherever it belongs, and she's ignoring everything else. She's walking to the ship.
Fantastic. Great. We have Ash back, and Kasha, you will definitely come. And I believe Whisper, Whisper, you're not allowed to not come. So we have us three, and all we need now is a couple more. Yes. Fantastic. We have two more.
No. I have a question. Mr. Duvall, I have a question. We have so many questions.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Yes, Meryl.
Bramble, do you want to go first? Do you want to play rock, paper, scissors for it? Okay, ready? Rock, paper.
What is this?
What do we do? What do we do when that happens?
It's a tie. You have to do it again.
We have to do it again? Okay.
Yes.
Ready? The.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Scissors. What can I do for you?
Mr. Debaldi? What was it?
Duvall.
I don't know. I forgot. So.
Okay.
Now.
Still horrifically hungover.
Right.
Duvall is 100% used to all of this. He's literally been around with Kasha long enough to know that nobody's going to know his name, and he's been with Ash long enough to know that everybody's hungover. So, by all means, what can we do?
I'm not well, I am a hero, but like, I want to be yeah, the same thing my parents are.
She wants to poke people.
She wants to own a bar.
Yeah.
For pleasure and health.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. I was sent by the great divine tree on this quest to save home. Just home. And
And now you need to get home and let everyone know you saved them.
well, yeah, that too.
Hey, real quick. Hey, Morgan.
Yeah.
Do you know Lesser Restoration?
like a bunch of healing spells. Let me go.
It just matters something I might do. I'm just asking if you happen to know lesser restoration.
I already checked to see if I have it, and I didn't.
I
because
do
would
not.
Past it.
You don't?
I do have
Okay.
lesser restoration, actually.
I can't do it from. So she has a bunch of quills that light up when you look at them magically. You are just a chipmunk that is magical. So I don't know your spells, but Duvall using detect magic on Bramble would see that her quills can light up, and I was gonna have him grab one and poke her with it, but it's fine.
I mean, you could do that anyways.
No, he's not gonna. It's fine. He's gonna listen and be like, okay, well, no, of course, go back home, but remember, there is always a place for heroes among the vault, especially if you want to save more of the world.
Yes, Meryl.
Oh yes,
Okay,
chipmunk.
hi. Mr. Duvall, who made the book that I have. What other things are going on in the world that you require heroes for? You're being kind of vague.
Right. That is for the chairman to discuss with the heroes. I am just simply the arm.
Messenger boy.
So you have a patron and a chairman. How many people in charge do you
Well,
have?
they're both the same. They're both the same person. Cragmore is a wonderful man. He used to be a chairman and now he's the patron. He likes titles. Anyway, and he's gonna put back on his official voice. Yes. So if anybody would like to come back and Kasha, we do have to leave soon.
Kasha's sitting here like she's trying to remember something. She's like, "What was her name?" Know it. I'm very bad with these things after so long.
Oh, this is Thistle.
No, the Mars wife.
Who's
Right.
Mar?
We should talk
Yeah,
about that
who is
later, away from people. Kasha.
Are we people? I'm a chipmunk. Does that count?
They saw her too.
Does it count?
You would hear
Okay.
whisper in your head go, I think that counts.
Is the chairman aware of her presence?
Well, I think that the news of you destroying the box will come as news. It'll come as news. Yes. Oof. What a day this is going to be. But the wind is up. We have almost taken off. If you guys would like some food, there is I don't know if you all eat seaweed. There's very good seaweed on the boat. But I am going to go to the tavern first and grab some meat, and then we are going to leave. I will meet everybody in about an hour and a half on the ship. Eli, I will see you there. Nice to meet you. He's going to shake your hand and walk away before you can say you're not coming.
At this point, I wouldn't even try to say it. I would let him think what he wants.
Yep.
Not Dad. Are we going to the vault? Can we go? Sounds like fun.
I kind of want to go too. Like, I want to go.
Bramble, you want to go to the vault, right?
Bramble only goes where the divine tree has requested.
So you're gonna go one place. Yes. Because if that means you're only gonna go one place your whole life.
Whisper would let Thistle and Meryl both know that the vault is a very nice and very fun place.
I mean, I definitely want to go.
Sounds like fun.
Like,
Ash is gonna
About
scream
your
for the boat.
family.
Ash is gonna scream
Right?
from the ship and be like,
Right
"Are you guys
in the water.
swimming?"
I'll write them a letter.
like really fun.
Fun.
We'll let her.
They do a lot of good work.
Whisper says it's fun.
Whisper would then pull out his flute and start playing We Are Family.
Also,
Roll
Mary
performance.
And Bramble and Thistle, what about not just your families? Don't you want to make sure that
That is
the
a
did actually
19.
help home? What if there's more problems there? We're not done yet. Also, someone still has to take that fish to Matamata.
Oh.
We did promise that.
You do have to take fish.
Or arrange to have the fish taken.
We should really
Or
learn to
arrange
Oh.
to have the fish taken.
We can arrange to have the fish taken.
Didn't you promise her a song the next time you came?
I'm really, my memory is not so good. I'm so
We
sorry. I
can
don't
hire band. I'm
We
sure
can
there's
hire a
somebody.
band.
You don't remember? Wait, you
Like
don't
a
remember
singing
the giant ass
telegram?
turtle we rode back on?
Wow, that's really fuzzy. That's just a long night of reading. Whew! Memory's
Like
gone.
giant.
Everybody would hear in their head Whisper say, "Now, guys, there's a perfect solution to this. All we have to do is send like a bard hunter out. Because if we send the bard out, he'll both play the song, give her the fish, and Madamata said she likes eating people, so there's that too."
Don't know how I
Problem
feel about the
solved.
last part, but the first couple of suggestions. Yeah.
I think at this
This
point,
is a
Ash
solid
would
plan.
actually get off of the ship. She's gonna approach Kasha, and she is grabbing Kasha's hand, like two-handed. She's grabbing her hand and like pulling her to the ship.
You know we can take my boat too.
I prefer Kasha's boat.
I don't
Hopefully
think
it's
we
here
have
by
that
now. It should be on its way from wherever it was.
Your
called
boat
it
your
this
boat
one.
is down the way a little bit, but it is still there, yes.
If it'll make you feel better, Eli, could we ask Kasha then to take her boat? We can check on Coldmeadow, and then we can set out from there.
Compromise!
That would be a faster, safer method to get y'all back to Coldmeadow instead of walking a long way.
Because, I mean, this is the first time that I have ever set foot really out of Coldmeadow, and Thistle's really excited about this. She's having a great time.
If Kasha is willing to take us back to Coldmeadow, I will graciously accept that ride. And then as far as going to the vault or anything past that goes, if your families and the village elders give you the sign off, then so be it from me to stop you.
I need a
Get us
village
fine.
elege. We have to get permission slips? We didn't do
Right.
that last time. We just kind of left.
No, we checked in with the great tree, and it gave us it gave me the quest, and then all of you came in with me.
Yeah, see, I wrote a letter to all of your families because I was sure y'all were going to sneak off in the middle of the night last time to let them know where you were going.
Did they write back?
You know,
The ultimate trump card, did they write back?
we're a little preoccupied. We just got back into town. I haven't had a chance to check the
What is
mail yet.
happening?
This
They will be
I'd
fine. Be
be
fine.
really surprised if mine wrote back. So, it would be-
Right.
And that's actually more cause for alarm. Did you get a reply back from me?
Oh.
Hearing
I
what
wrote
Eli
to the
just
village
said,
elders about you, Meryl, and they're very concerned.
hearing what Eli just said about writing to all their parents and knowing Meryl's situation, Whisper would cover her ears quickly and be like, "How could you?"
Bucky would never. Okay.
Be like, ooh, these are like wolf muffs. This is fun.
Wolf muffs. Okay, Kasha, specifically, you know who Cragmore is. He was, like I said, back then a chairman, one of the people on the higher ups, and a great adventurer back in your day. Him being the patron would mean that he is in charge of the entire vault, the entire guild. So, if Duvall is here to do what he's saying he's trying to do, it would definitely be up to you whether or not you would like to take them to Coldmeadow first and go back. But you would know that there is something going on if they are recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
That is knowledge you would have. So there you are. That being said, whatever you decide to do, we will do.
I mean, Kasha's fine either way. She's never been a stickler for deadlines. Because time is weird.
Right.
So it's one of those things where at the same time, she doesn't want to necessarily be responsible for a gaggle of children.
Not a
Understandable.
child.
Yeah, I think we've definitely proven that.
Did you
over the
see how
course-
much I drank last night? Absolutely an adult.
You drank last night, Bramble?
Yep, like all the adults.
How
That's
many
cool.
fingers am I holding up?
Their fingers. That's all that's in.
Trick question, their pause. Whisper would stand there and be like, I'm the smartest.
Meryl's gonna like pet Whisper and go, if we knew what was going on, then I feel like it'd be a lot easier for us to tell if it like what kind of emergency it is. Because it's not that we shouldn't go back to Coldmeadow, but Elias, if you've sent letters before, I don't see any reason why we couldn't send letters from here and then we just go straight to the vault if it's really important.
And if you decide it's not important enough, my boat can always take you all home.
That's
This is true.
But you haven't been back home to verify your work that you just finished. How do you know there's not some other issue in Coldmeadow right now?
And how can I
We have
tell
a bunch of
my
bounty
siblings
hunters,
and
and
declare
we're
myself
not
a
very
hero?
secretive about our starting location. How do we know that any of the people that did not get taken out by us are on their way back to our hometown?
Yeah, but having the vault back us to help with those situations will be a lot better than us just going into this by ourselves.
We took down like 3 bears and a crow thingy. We're
We
great.
did not take down one bear. We ran away and never saw the other 2 bears.
Well, we
And
did see
then
one bear.
Not Duke is still alive.
That's right, not Duke is still alive.
I know his
But
name
not
is
Duke.
Rock.
It's not Duke.
but not Duke was also pretty crispy when we left him, so I feel like
And since we were the result of him being pretty crispy, don't you think he'd be a little upset about that?
but he was getting paid. Didn't you say mercenaries only do what they're being paid to do? And like Dredd is no longer here. So like his employment is null and void.
Mercenaries also kill people that make them mad.
Bramble's
Was that
gonna
part of
sit
the
down
code?
for a moment. Like, this is a lot. I just need to sit.
Which is why we ally with a bigger group with other heroes so that way we can address all these issues.
And what about in the meantime, if he's not waiting that long and he goes straight there, then what? While you're out being heroes,
We couldn't fight him by ourselves last time, why would we do it again this time?
we beat his boss. And he
With help of people that came out of the box!
he was already a burnt crisp on the ground by that point. We were doing just fine.
Okay, so if we're doing just fine, then let's go be heroes. I've got confidence.
You guys were pretty crispy yourself.
Which is why we need help from others.
Is there anyone in town that can offer us a message spell so that way we can go ahead and like ask people back home how
I
they
think
were?
as you guys are talking about crispy, Duvall's gonna like come back out of the tavern with like a bunch of like sticks of meat, and he's like eating
Gosh,
one.
gonna reach over and take one.
Of course, crispy. What's crispy? I have. He's a boar, so it's very wild watching him eat. But he's gonna be like, oh yes. Oh, Ash, you came back. There's enough on the ship. There's enough on that boat for all of us.
Ash is gonna say they're taking way too long, and she at this point is just like playing in the sand.
Right. Well, we are leaving. I need to get back. I talked to the tavern. He's gonna take another big bite. I talked to the innkeeper, and he said that most of the people here aren't not really ready to be heroes. I am gonna go talk to the there is a fox on the beach apparently that I need to speak to. I'm going to speak to him, and then we are going to leave. Here you go, and he's gonna hand you another stick of meat, Kasha, and then he'll lean down and offer one to Whisper as well.
Whisper would bite into it and offer some of it to both Meryl and Thistle.
I'm gonna hold out the second stick to Ash.
Thank you.
Oh, Ash will take it, and she's eating all of it in one bite and probably not chewing.
Fantastic. And Duvall is just going to semi-waddle his way down to the beach.
Ash is gonna trot behind him.
What are we doing?
You said Ash is gonna what?
She's gonna trot behind him.
You guys have already made up your mind, so can't realistically show back up to town without you.
I'm gonna dig in my pouch and hand Eli some money and go, here's for a message spell.
You would also know that realistically you could ask Duvall, because that's what his thing is. So.
How I go to my
trust me, he's gonna want the gold to do it. He's very motivated.
What did you say, Bramble?
How will I gloat to my siblings if we don't go home first?
Well,
I need
you
to
can
show
go home.
everybody that I am an adult. So we need to go home first.
Astra's gonna reach out and put her hand on Bramble and be like, the assistant to the chairman of the Best Heroes Guild is requesting your assistance directly.
And more important than that.
Bramble's gonna look over at Kasha and be like, I don't know who
directly. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
That dude who just left.
Great. I like my parents more.
That's fair. I just was telling you that that's what you can tell them.
Well, Bramble, you don't have to go. I mean, Thistle and I can go. I mean, I have all these gold stars.
There's definitely going to be more room for gold stars along the way.
It's okay, Thistle. You and I can have these, and we can share.
I'm being bribed with gold stars.
Very mature.
Can I have gold stars?
Hold up. Actually, wait. Hold on, for real.
And put it on Whisper. Here you go.
Thistle does not have access to the sheet of gold stars. Elias is holding all the gold stars.
I don't think that's
because if y'all would just be putting, except for whichever ones Meryl still has hidden from me.
I think Meryl would have shared some gold stars with me.
Yes, I would have. You are not the keeper of the stars.
Keeper of the stars.
The stars have no value now. I imagine I'm just gonna wake up one morning. You're all gonna be covered in gold stars. And it's like stickers don't mean anything now.
And then we'll get different colored stars to signify more meaning.
Okay, everybody just get on the boat. I guess this is
Wait, what were you gonna say?
Now, Elias is just kind of like, he's defeated at this point. He's like, I can't go back without these kids. And it's like, they've made up their mind. So he's just going to pull his flask out, take a swig, and then go sit down beside Ash and just get involved in whatever Ash is doing.
Ash is trotting behind Duvall currently down to the beach.
Okay, well, then I'm just following Ash.
Yeah,
Okay.
She's not waiting on any of you.
Very cool. So, are you guys getting on the boat, or are we... How is this going?
Yep.
Except for Eli, who's following Ash down to the beach with Duvall.
Yeah.
Okay. Eli and Ash, you would follow Duvall down to the beach as there is a there's a fox in a ranger outfit, very dark green, sitting at the edge of like some rocks, and I think, Ash, you would slightly recognize him because you danced with him all the way to the first time you met Matamata. But he's older now and has a little bit more scarring on him. He's got also, like, you could tell that his, like, fur is much more weathered, and where it used to be, like, that bright, nice orange, it's, like, that much darker, like... very much set orange tone that has like the browns to it now. Duvall would approach and be like, Sir, I was told that you are a great ranger of this parts. And you might be interested in coming with us to the vault to do some work. Excuse me. And he'd kind of like go to tap the fox, and the fox would like slink over and kind of like look up and just kind of say, hey, first of all, don't touch me. But second of all, no, I'm not going anywhere. I am, without me, this town would not have as much food as it does, and I wouldn't be able to visit my friend here. And he kind of gestured to the rocks, and that's kind of what I do. I'm here for Madison, and not for whatever you're doing. You would get a sense that and you would remember he normally had two. There were two of them, and but you'd also remember, Ash, that his friend was much older than him 12 years ago when you did meet him. And although
you get the sense that his friend is gone.
Yeah. And this is somebody who used to be very jubilant. Like, he was very much a joker like you. Like, that you all danced around in circles. He's the one who initiated. Like, when you were dancing, he jumped in with you. This is a much more somber version of who he is. And I
think that Ash would go and stand in front of him. Does she recognize him at this point?
You would, yeah. Like I said, I think you'd recognize him.
Okay, I think she would go and stand in front of him, and I think it would take her a second. Like, she would probably, like, lean in uncomfortably close and, like, sniff him. Be like, I know you. Why are you acting like a sad sack?
Just weathered, not sad.
Well, you seem kind of sad. You used to be better than this. You were way more fun. You should come with us, though. Totally understand your rock friend. You should come with us. I mean, we've already done a lot that we can for Madison. And granted, I've been gone for 12 years. Also, granted, I look the same. Don't really understand how I've been gone for 12 years, but I have, I guess. Anyway, you should definitely come with us. I don't see why you wouldn't. Your friends, gone.
Roll persuasion.
Wow, this whole conversation is just painful to listen to. That's a nat 20? Ain't no way.
That is a nat 20.
Take a picture. Let's upload that.
So,
That's wild.
I have to admit, I don't rightfully remember you. I do know who you are, though. I remember that I was supposed to take. I drank a lot then, a lot more than I do now. I don't really have that memory.
Ash, I think that realistically, Ash would probably take his hands, and she would kind of pull him forward off of the rock, and she would force him to dance with her. Listen, you got to give it to me on a nat 20.
This is like he would be like, oh yes, I briefly remember this. He's gonna keep dancing with you.
Watching all this happen, Elias is just gonna be sitting a little bit further up the beach. But when I see you guys start dancing, I'll pull out my lute and just start playing, so you guys have music.
Nice.
Amazing.
Right. You know, like I said, I visit Zek every day. It would be weird to not be there. I will say this, though. If you guys come back to Madison and need a guide, I will always do that. But without me, Madison does not eat as well as it should. I'm one of the last people that train these hunters.
Can you make sure that Mata gets some fish?
Oh god, don't do that to him.
Mata. You know, I haven't seen her in a long time. And although, by the way, it's nice to see you again. I do not remember your name.
That's okay.
All right.
Dancing.
We promised her fish. We gotta give her fish because she didn't eat us last time. And a song. Can you sing? Can you bring someone who can
Ash
sing?
remembers perfectly that he absolutely cannot sing.
Well, excuse me. And he's gonna like stop dancing with Ash, or attempt to stop dancing with Ash at least.
Ash is gonna continue dancing by herself.
Very cool.
She's swaying to the lute.
I can bring fish to the turtle. Does she still go to the dock?
She will if you call her.
He's gonna like kind of like roll his eyes and think to himself, that's what Zek used to do. Great, I will. Fine, as a favor to the heroes of Madison, I can. Yes, I will take care of that.
Thank you.
Thank you. I thought I was gonna have to sing.
He's gonna look over at Meryl.
You sing her a song, so you do still have to go back and do that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mada knows what I'm talking about, and that's all that matters.
Dad, why are you doing this to me? You're embarrassing me.
Oh.
He takes another shot, and he just sits down.
Duvall's gonna interrupt again and be like, okay. Ash, you can dance on the boat. Let's yes, Mr. Sir, Ranger, yes. Thank you for your time. I completely understand. It is hard to lose people. Here you go. And he's going to give him it's like this little piece of silver, like a coin, but it's definitely like not worth actually anything. It is like a token that you would give, and it has like the vault's little crest on it. But this is 100% like he's not giving him a silver piece; he's giving him like a fake pressed coin, and he's gonna be like, to just to pay respects with. Okay, wonderful. Let's get you heroes on the boat. And he's gonna turn and start like to leave.
Ash is not gonna stop dancing, but she is gonna make her way, spinning herself and dancing up the planks and onto the ship.
Fantastic.
Where's my boat parked in comparison to that boat?
Down. You can see it. It's down the thing a couple ways. There's multiple docks. Yours is down like 2 of them.
I'm just gonna wave at Ash and be like, bye, and start walking towards my boat.
I'm going with Kasha to her boat, because I've at least been on a boat with Kasha before.
It's the same boat you would have been on.
Yeah, Whisper would be carrying Meryl to Kasha's boat.
Yeah, when she realizes that Kasha is not coming, she would dance her way back down the planks and further down the dock.
Yeah,
All right.
on Kasha's boat.
All right, children, everybody on board.
Yeah.
Duvall would look over.
Right,
Kasha.
Bramble, everybody on board.
Yes, Duvall.
You are coming back to the vault, right?
Yes.
Wonderful. Then
Well,
I
why
will
would I
see.
take your boat when I have my boat?
By all means, take your boat. I will see you there. You're coming straight to the vault?
I think so. I'm gonna look very confusedly at Eli.
Well,
Eli's
as long as we
just-
can.
Well, he's just going to be like, you're the captain.
Is there any way we can message home? Just to make sure everything's hunky dunky
That's
there?
right. Duvall. Phone calls.
Phone calls. Oh. Right. Who am I messaging?
Apparently they have other parents.
My whole family, everybody.
No.
I don't need to brag in person. Everybody, all of them.
Maybe just a
Grandma,
couple.
that's not how message spells work.
We will send one message or two, however, to the village elders and let them pass the information along the town.
That seems fair. That seems
It's not like there's Wi-Fi where everyone's connected and can hear a message spell.
It would be good if we had Wi-Fi.
It would be great if we had Wi-Fi. I was reading about it.
I'm pretty sure Duvall is Wi-Fi.
I'm fine if he needs to message everybody individually, but everybody.
Okay, how about you all write down what you need, put the gold with the things you're writing, and I will do that for you.
I've already got a note, and here's the money Kasha gave me for the message. If you would. Duvall.
Fantastic. And he's gonna open the note and look, and then he's gonna look at the gold. Okay, and he's gonna pocket the gold.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting anything less.
Fantastic.
Bramble's like a little confused. She's like, we're paying him for a message spell, like, but he wants us to come with him?
Right.
Like,
little hero hedgehog. Let me tell you. And he's gonna like lean down and put his like paw on your shoulder and like clink your armor a little bit. And he's gonna say, you know, there's a saying. If you do something really well, don't do it for free. Wonderful, wonderful. I will see you all back at the grand halls of the vault.
how much do we get paid to be heroes?
That's something you can negotiate by yourself. Now, I will talk to you all soon. And, yes. And he's going to, kind of push you slightly towards Kasha. And he's going to look at Kasha and be like, make sure they stay safe if you're going to be the one captaining the ship.
Captain.
I offered you my ship, but now these are your children. Okay, and he's gonna walk up on the thing, and he's gonna look back at Kasha and message to her. And he goes, I knew you'd use your ship. And then he's gonna have the thing fly up, and then the ship is gonna start to undock immediately. You guys are all on Kasha's ship. The last time you were on your ship, Kasha, everybody was your whole crew. Kasha has a magical ship that was given to her through magical means in her prior lives. Currently, the crew, though, which is supposed to be like this ethereal, ghostly crew, they were animals last time you were on, but you would notice this time, while some are still anthropomorphic, some are also human, and a couple of them are orcs now. Just like they used to be, but some of them decided to keep their animal form. And then there is the... what would you call that? The cook, who is a rather older turtle from that you've known for a long time. But it comes out and it's like, oh gosh, it's so nice to see you. We don't really have a lot of food on board right now, but we could catch some on the way. And there's wind, so I think it'd be kind of quick. It's nice to see you again, Captain.
Thank you.
Catching fish sounds fun. I haven't gone fishing in a long time. I'll help.
Oh, it would look over. New faces. Okay, yes, if you'd like to help, yes, we have tons of fishing equipment down below the deck. Yes, let's go. It is gonna be a quick ride. This is realistically getting to Cherry Moss is like a 2-day ride normally. It took y'all a lot longer the first time because of there being no wind or tide, but pretty simple this time. So that being said, somebody give me a roll for weather.
I'll do it.
Great.
I immediately looked at Whisper. I'm like,
D20, buddy.
That is an 11.
Nice. You know, that the weather having just come back and it being pent up for so long, it's a 2 days worth of pretty heavy choppy waves. A good storm, we'll say. Not an insane crazy storm, not like something like that, but a good, just hard hitting, push the boat around storm. Kasha, who is captaining your boat this time? Are you going to be the captain, or are you making one of them be the captain?
I mean, if Eli doesn't want to be the captain, then I would.
being on a boat with Kasha before, I would just assume that Kasha would want me to take the helm because I know Kasha would not be the one to want to do it unless she absolutely has to. So I think I would just get on the boat. I've run this boat before, and I would just kind of fall back into my old position and just start doing stuff to get us ready to go.
Oh no, this is you in the middle of a storm.
Oh,
You guys are pushing through the storm, going to. We're just gonna. There's not.
Yeah. In the storm, I'm definitely the one out on the deck because I would be outside of Kasha, and I don't know about Whisper and Ash, but I'm assuming me and Kasha are the only ones on this boat with any kind of experience sailing a storm. So it's definitely me steering.
Her magical crew does know certain things. I was just trying to see who we were gonna have roll for this. But by all means, since Eli took the helm, give me a survival roll, Eli, for the entire ship, please.
Don't you break my boat.
Uh-oh. We're all going down.
I'm sure I have that on a t-shirt from Kasha somewhere.
Kasha has a whole merch line that sells on the bottom of the boat. There's a table. You get your collective t-shirts that say the kitten caboodle on it.
Aw.
And a cat tree in the back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cat tree.
14.
Cool. You've been away from the ocean a while, but you fall back into the whole movement of things. It is also a very choppy storm. It's very rough. It would toss people about. You're as you're pushing through some of the waves, some of them are hitting the deck. People, the ethereal crew is running around and like shoveling some of the water off, while some of them also row just to keep the ship not upright, because again, it's not like that type of crazy storm, but keeping it on course for Cherry Moss itself. You do a good job. It does take you an extra half a day to get there, so you will get there in the afternoon instead of the morning. About 5 or 6 hours behind the other ship that Duvall was probably lounging on, to be honest. That being said, Bramble and Thistle, probably not Meryl. Meryl's been at sea a couple times, but Bramble and Thistle, I would imagine that this is probably the first storm you've ever been through on a boat, and for that matter, on a ship that is now kind of tossing you back and forth for a good prolonged 24-hour period. But please talk about that.
I feel like I would just be sick. Like, just straight up seasick, hurling over the side of the boat.
Even better, please roll Constitution check.
Like, absolutely not.
With disadvantage, since you said it yourself.
Constitution check.
I feel like
just
Bramble would have like taken one of her quills and like poked herself to make sure she wasn't like seasick. But she probably wouldn't be like enthusiastic, just sort of like this whole. She didn't even go fishing with like the people from her town. Like, she's very much a land creature, and this whole water thing is not thrilling to her. Like, so.
Definitely not.
What did you get, Thistle?
I rolled an 11.
Okay, so you guys have like this little balcony off the side of the where you guys are staying in the boat, because the boat just kind of magically makes means for you, and as you're throwing up, it's like, oh, do that outside, and it makes a little section off for you to throw up outside your room. And I think,
don't fall off.
Huh?
Told them not to fall off.
That's
Doing my
good.
best.
The one thing that is apparent through all of the rooms of the boat, though, is Kasha's cat tree. That makes it's like a makeshift elevator for her to shapeshift and run around her ship on, kind of like hamsters do in their little houses. But while you're throwing up and Bramble is kind of like curled up in this corner, whatever. I don't know, Meryl. What are you doing around now? You guys are all in the same room.
Bramble. I'm Bramble now. Meryl is lovingly, supportively rubbing circles into Thistle's back, while also she has a little fishing line out the window. So she's like doing this. So because she's good. She goes fishing with the squirrel family every other day. So she's real good. She's like, they're there. It's okay. We're not gonna be on the boat long. It's, I will. And she starts telling Thistle stories that they've read together. Okay. So to help her focus on something. So she's like, you remember the one story about the fishing man? And I don't know why.
Very cool.
So on and so forth.
Okay. I think around then you hear like a knock on the door. And then before you could even answer the door would pop open because there's no way to lock the ghosts the real crew members out of moving their own ship. So the door opens and it's like this large, very heavy set, kind of dopey looking-esque dog. And he's got like this whole platter of very, very smelly meats that he has gotten from the ship's like kitchen quarters. And he would just pop in and be like, they told me to bring you all food. So I have food. Oh, they're sick. That's so funny. So yeah. And then this, we also have some of these pickled eggs, and he's gonna put like the big jar down on the table with the food, and he'd say, don't drink salt water though. If you want something to drink, there's a really great, there's mead and some citrus that you can squeeze. Yes. I hope everybody enjoys the food. There's also some crunchy bread if you would like. It doesn't have toes. Have a good day. And he's gonna walk out and just leave.
Did he say toes?
It sounds like it could be a delicacy. Anyways, do you want some citrus? I can go squeeze it.
Yeah, sure. Just know whatever those toe things are.
I promise I won't get anything with toes. So Meryl will go on an adventure. Citrus.
Is there like, can I like roll another medicine check or something to see if I can like poke Thistle, to see if I can help her with her sickness?
Yes, that sounds great. That is right. That would be something. Yes, please roll a medicine check.
A 20. It's a dirty 20.
Nice. However, she wants to describe what she's doing to you. You do.
I would probably sneak over, like while she's throwing up.
Yeah.
Like that was the best way to do it, just so she wouldn't see it coming. She'd be like.
You feel this like little stab to your side, and for a moment you're probably alarmed, but then during the alarm you get this wash, and you realize you're not even like. Not only are you not seasick, but you're not like dizzy either. It just like stops, and it almost is. While it's not like immediate, it does wash over you during the excitement of you getting like tapped by this. Go ahead. Y'all can do that together, I guess.
Like this little like feeling that stab would be like, oh God, and then she would look down and see Bramble. And as she's slowly starting to feel better, she would just reach down and just hug her. Just thanks.
Aww. And Bram would be like, yeah, you're welcome. That'll be 1 gold star.
There's 2 gold stars. Don't tell Eli.
That'll be 1.
And she'll like put them like right underneath like her shoulder pad that like overlaps the part of her armor, so like they're hidden. Like
she has hidden gold stars. Okay. All of the citrus is currently with all the drinks, which is where Ash is. So Meryl, you would pop into this room while you are very good at being on the water, this is still a storm. So it would be back and forth shaky. You would pop into this room as you like push the door open. Ash, please describe you sitting among all of Duvall's mead and citrus.
Are there other people around me?
It is you alone because Duvall is in his quarters with his drink. He took one of them. He took one of them for himself, And he also is the only one that has the blue melons, so he's not really worried about you drinking all of the mead. So this is where you are currently.
So if there was like an open barrel of mead, you would see Ash, like, her bottom half is outside of the barrel. Her upper half, however, is inside of the barrel, drinking directly out of it.
So you're Winnie the Pooh?
I was going to say, so as Ash Winnie the Pooh's this barrel of mead, Meryl,
Is there a rumbly in your tumbly?
Yes. Meryl, you enter.
Ooh, okay, I found it. Hi, Ash. Can you hear me in there? Is that good?
She's gonna give you a thumbs up. She's not gonna stop what she's doing.
Okay, good. As long as you're good. I'm getting some citrus. Do you want anything?
No, I think I got it covered. I think I'm good here. Thank you, though.
Very good.
Good.
She's gonna point, though, to where the citrus is, just so that you can see it.
Yes, perfect. And she's gonna take a seat down, and she's going to grab anything and to be able to try and juice something.
There's
Melon.
there's no blue melons in here. There's a bunch of oranges and some like a bunch of limes, and then there are these like almost like golden-esque berry looking things that are about this big that are like ridiculously bitter, but they mash them up to put in the mead so that because it you know, scurvy and stuff, but also because it makes the mead just have that tart taste to it that some people like.
I think that Ash, realizing that Meryl was looking for something so that she could juice the citrus, she's gonna come out of her mead barrel, and she would take like the handle of her sickle, and she's gonna smash the citrus on the table. Like, does that help?
Yeah, that's great. She was gonna take her letter openers and like start peeling some fruit so she can bring it back.
Awesome. Okay. So please, with her help, because she helped you, please roll performance with advantage.
Okay. I can do that.
Cool. It's a nice big frothy glass of whatever, of all this mixed up stuff. Do you put any like water or anything in this?
Fruit slices. She like cuts up
Great.
more and then throws it in there. She's like, that makes it look fancy.
Yep. So she brings you this like big, it's like a big mug that you would drink mead from, but with just mashed up, like grainy, pulpy fruit juice. But it looks super nice. And
she brings two. She brings one for Bramble as well, and on her way out, like she's holding this, she's like, "Thank you, Ash." She like waddles down the corridor.
Ash is
face first back in the barrel.
Yep, I was gonna say sopping wet. Ash jumps back in the barrel probably. Because I can't imagine how you would not get soaked with mead as this whole ship flies back and forth.
Accepting that. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like sloshing back and forth.
Yeah.
There are times that she's like not able to breathe. Like she has accepted that. It's fine.
It's great. It's great. Okay. Whisper, during all of this, what would you be doing during this 2-day long throw through all the water?
Whisper would go to his spot that he normally goes. Even in a storm, he goes to the spot, knowing it's a dangerous spot. But he would be standing on the tip of the bow of the ship.
Yep. Very good.
And he would be either playing a flute or holding a fishing pole in his mouth.
Fishing pole. Cool. Roll nature with disadvantage. That seems like a reasonable fishing pole roll. Disadvantage because you're in a storm and all the fish aren't up at the top.
It's a 10.
Okay. So you got your pole and you're doing your thing. You're at the tip of the the whole thing. While you don't really catch much of anything, the line will sometimes jerk around, so you kind of have to pull it and keep going. And I move my head to pull it because you're a doggy. And and you kind of know that you're not going to catch anything, but I think that this is it's just a calming moment for you. You being one of the older beings in the vault, and do you want to take this moment to reflect on anything before you all get there?
I think, honestly, Whisper would really just kind of be, while fishing, not catching much, or catching anything at all, he would be reflecting on his last look at the vault, like what he remembers it to be, knowing that things, as soon as they get there, have probably changed tremendously.
Right. You remember, like, it being this hobbled together, like, a bunch of different ships that put together, and it had, like, its own, like, feel to it. It had a grand hall, in quotes, but the grand hall used to be just a place for a couple people to sit, and, like, a message board, and it has its own little tavern to it that has this, not endless amount, but a good amount of mead that they make themselves. And, they have, like, a center for, like, people to come and talk to people at. This is the beginnings of what you remember. It's going to be very interesting, like you said, to see how it changed. You also remember Cragmore used to be a very young snow leopard, and the other two that used to be there were these, like, older. One was a large seagull, and the other one was a like squirrel looking, kind of like half breed between like a squirrel and some kind of lizard. It was very hard to tell exactly what it was, and nobody really asked him because it seemed like a hot button for him. So that was not something that they ever talked about. But these are the things that you, like, really remember. But you also remember how much of a home it felt like, because everybody that was part of the vault were very much a team. It was a lot of other individuals like Kasha who did find others that were lost that just wanted to do good for this part of Omni, and Coldmeadow and all those places. Great. Nice reflection, I guess.
Good thoughts.
Eli and Kasha, you guys have done a fine job managing to get the ship through the storm. I would say that everybody gets a nice long rest through all of this, even though, I mean, especially Thistle with Bramble's help here and the little poke, you are not feeling sick, so you just kick it out. Bramble, to talk to you, it's very loud. Like, the whole ship is loud. It creaks, it echoes, there are footsteps going on the whole time, the waves are crashing. This is a wonderful thing for you, I think.
Absolutely. And even a little rocking from the boats. It's perfect. All I'm missing is just somebody, like, trying to kick me in my face when I sleep. Other than that, it's, like, perfect.
I'm sure Ash could take care of it. But yeah, I think everybody gets a good, like, solid long rest in. You guys pull up to Cherry Moss. The docks themselves are shambled, and like I said, this is a collection of shipwrecks from vast ages of time. These look like ships that have been displaced from time in many different eras. Most of them are pirate ships or giant vessels that are, like, cobbled together, broken. There are these, like, wooden planks that, like, connect them all together. It's a big hustle of different, like, people. You guys pull up in the afternoon, like I said. There are immediately people trying to sell you stuff. There are immediately pirates trying to push into you and steal from you. If you have something, I would think that Kasha would make sure that you guys are safe from that. And also, there is a whole feeling of just, the people from Coldmeadow who have never been here before, you've heard of this place. This is the place where all the pirates come from. This is the place of smugglers. This is a low-life place that also happens to hold the Adventurers Guild of the Vault. And while that is a very interesting moment and a kind of like dueling idea, the vault was set up here specifically because these are the people that you can pay to make them go places and do things. And sometimes if you're paying somebody to do a good thing, the good thing still happens. Ask Eli, that's how he got here. So, that being said, you guys, are you going anywhere before you go to the vault?
We don't have like any money, right?
I think Kasha has a decent amount of money.
Probably. It's a side effect.
I would actually think Whisper probably has a decent amount of money too, if I'm being very real.
If we wait somewhere, I could send off a pigeon or something and have someone get me money. But we'd have to wait an extra day.
Yeah, okay. I don't think Duvall would ever allow that to happen. So,
Nope.
So I guess we're going.
Unless somebody asked to stop somewhere, Kasha would just be heading straight to the vault.
Okay.
No, yeah, I probably would head straight there.
Does this place have a library? Or a place with books?
You would have to ask somebody.
Okay, I'm asking somebody.
Who?
Random person that walks past you.
I was waiting for Alex to be like, I hate you. No, but
I was about to.
I know. Okay, so you're gonna stop a random person on the dock?
Sure.
Cool. So there are, so near the docks especially, there are a bunch of taller seagulls and one like very large build, what do you call the birds that have that hold the things in their mouth? I forgot. Pelicans?
Pelicans.
Yeah, great. And a large pelican. And they're kind of like pushing around and kind of getting to their boat and stuff. They would be the first people you see off your boat.
Yoo-hoo! Excuse me, do you have a library? Books? Things I can read?
Books? And then all of them kind of look at each other, and they're look like that's how they talk. And then, I mean, the vault has a bunch of books. Why do you need books? This little thing wants books. I can't believe this little thing. The pelican would push them all on board and go, stop. We're working right now. You're on, these are boats, young lady. If you need a book, go get your book. Down that way. That's where the vault is. They have books. Or you can go talk to the tavern keeper. I'm sure he has, what novels? I don't know. What do little girls do nowadays? And he's going to push them onto the boat and kind of like push past you as he gets on the boat with his people.
I think Ash being here before and knowing, even though it's been a long time, like knowing how most of these people work, I think Ash would probably come up behind Meryl and be like, hey, this isn't, I don't think you want to talk to these people. We should go.
Okay. I mean...
However, some of them can be great for biting.
She's too young for that.
Biting. Ha. Wasn't that... How?
You ever want to try it? It's pretty fun.
Meryl, we'll talk about it later. Let's go find some books right now. That's not the
But why would I want to bite someone?
Meryl, now is not the time.
But it feels like the right time.
In the same way the pelican was pushing the other people onto the ship, I'm pushing her down the gangplank. Like, all right, let's go. Now
I feel like I should know this information.
Come on, Meryl. I said the books are.
Is Meryl of a size that Kasha can reach over and just like pick her up?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I'm like 4 or 5. 5 foot. I'm no bigger than 5
would
feet.
reach over and pick her up and set her on the back of Whisper as walking.
Very good.
she would ask Whisper, being like, Whisper, do you bite people? Why does Ash bite people? Why does no one want to talk to me about biting people?
Whisper hearing Meryl would just look up and go,
Really?
I feel like that answers a lot and nothing at the same time.
And that's why Whisper is wise. Let's keep moving.
But if Whisper's wise, he can talk to me about why people bite others.
Now, not Meryl.
Like, Bramble would like
Whisper
whisper
would just
over,
be
like, the door,
fully
be like,
fully honest with her and be like, look, people bite people because A, it's fun to bite people, and B, because it's also a weapon.
Oh.
And he would gnash his teeth again and go, hang.
Oh. So you do it to people that you do it to people that you're mad at?
You do it to people that you're either mad at or you want to be friends with. There are different kinds of bites, Meryl.
And that is enough for now.
But I'm friends with Thistle and I've never bitten her.
So,
Maybe
you get to the front of... So you guys get to the front of the vault. It is much different than the last time that a couple of you were here. There are these large, like, huge archways now. This is, like, built into the side of this, like, metal-looking hull of a ship. It has, like, this long hallway, you can tell just from the outside. The doors are open, very easy to get in. It's very much like a, come in as you would like type of place. And Kasha, while you don't know your way around, you know that the Grand Hall is what used to be straight down and through the next set of doors.
I would go that way, just assuming that it's correct.
Right.
And as I walk down, I'm like, being a hero pays better than I remember.
There are a set of like busts as you're going through, and these are like you would know that these are the busts of fallen heroes from before, and then towards the end are the three of you. So you'd have like the stonework of Kasha and Ash and Whisper. Whisper's sword is like in his busts, like it. You could see it. It's part of what it is for him. And then Kasha, specifically next to yours, there is also another smaller little makeup of your sword, and it has its own little like description to it. And it says in memory of a great weapon and friend.
That is what gets to Kasha right there. She's like, the statue of me she does not care about. She's like, how has it been this many years? And there's now 2 statues when I've had none. Like, stop making statues of me. It makes her very uncomfortable.
That's funny. There are no guards, though. You don't see a lot of people. This is unlike the last time where there were just tons of people here. Like, the vault used to be a very, when I say tons, I mean there were a lot. You know what I mean? It was like going into a busy tavern at any given time. Now it's empty. As you get to these main doors, inside, Duvall would be sitting kind of behind this little desk table that has like a bunch of books and a bunch of like different things on it, and a couple like potions kind of like hanging off the side, and his big drawer that he normally keeps the money in, that he counts for the vault. He'd look up and go, "Oh, yes, you guys made it. And all of you came for real. That's so great. Please, Kasha, you know Cragmore. See yourself inside. He is in a decent mood today." And he's gonna smile.
Kasha's just gonna kind of look at him and then continue walking.
Great.
Meryl will whisper to Whisper, being like, "Is this a situation where you would bite someone?"
Whisper would say back to only Meryl that could hear him, be like, "This not good time to bite people right now." But
unless it's Duvall.
Unless it's Duvall, you can bite people. But I'm going to find you a book on biting people.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. So, sorry, I had to have my wheels go for a second.
Why, but a chill suddenly runs down his spine.
His dad senses are tingling.
The dad senses he never wanted, but somehow got.
Yep.
Amazing. As you enter the grand hall of the vault, your eyes immediately are drawn to this imposing figure that is already standing at the head of the room. The guild's patron, former chairman. His name is Cragmore Sveen. He's a snow leopard of like this remarkable large stature and presence. Like even in the winter of his years, his fur is thick and white, still fresh colored snow. Against kind of like a sandy backdrop almost. You can tell that it's aged at this point, but it's still very, very bright white. But despite all of that, despite his age, he still has this command of a room with just this intense presence. And there's a heavy scar that really like mars down the left side of his face, and it's a memory of like a really hard fought battle from before. Even when Kasha and you guys knew him back in the past, it was always this very big like scar that went down his face. His attire right now, though, unlike the robes that he used to have before, they are impeccably tailored and formal. And he's got like this dark set of markings, and through that you can see his like very still young looking bright blue eyes, and they're like this glorious like almost glowing blue that pop in the firelight. This guy is like the embodiment of what this guild should be at this point. When you look at him, you see an adventurer, but you also see this like forceful, like almost like fierce presence that has this like tenderness of wanting to help to it. And even like Kasha, you would even know like his leadership is what got him here. This is a very like real moment of meeting somebody. This is not like when you meet like, this is like when you go into a room and you just know for a fact that this is somebody important.
Completely ignoring all of that, Kasha is just going to do like a very casual like purr trill at him to get his attention, to be like, hi. Like,
he'd turn and say, "Oh, Kasha, it's such a pleasure to see you again. It's been so long. Duvall told me you were coming back. I did not believe him. I have not seen any of you in so long." His eyes would soften, but his body would stay very, like, stern as he did this.
I think Ash would follow right in behind Kasha and not really reading the room at all.
Right.
Be like, "Sup, Craggy? You look different."
it hasn't been nearly as long for us.
Elias is probably pulling up the rear, making sure nobody wanders off.
That's smart.
What? Us?
Bramble would totally girl.
Would never.
Never do that.
As he spoke back, it would kind of like, it's almost like a rumble of the tides coming in as he speaks. "Yes, Ash, I think it's good to see you too. Again, it's Cragmore though, not Craggy."
I guess I can do Cragmore. I just felt like Craggy was cuter, but if you prefer Cragmore, that's fine.
My preferences aren't what it is about anymore. Now I am the head of the guild. There's some...
That's pretty fucking cool.
You know it is! And he like loses, he goes back into how you knew him in the past for just a brief second. And then
he's like all excited about it.
Yeah, and then he like rallies himself back to this like very formal demeanor he's trying to carry. So tell me of your new friends here, please, please, please.
Oh, these are
Whisper would
Eli
just
and Thistle, and I think they're kids or something along those lines. I'm very confused.
A family man. It's always nice to meet a family man.
If one's crew is not their family, I don't know who else is.
Yeah.
It's okay. I've been assured that I've been assured Eli is not my dad, but he's great. He's just not my dad.
Right. Oh, okay. Kasha's playing a joke. Yes. All right.
Kasha doesn't think she's joking at all.
It's okay. At this point, Cragmore kind of understands where he's at with Kasha. That being aside from whatever point we're trying to make here, it is very good to see you again. We do have some things happening, though, Kasha. Do you want to speak in private, or do we just talk here? Yes, or what is your preference?
Fine.
These people are fine. Okay.
I mean, they did help to stop the issues and bring back weather.
Mm-hmm.
They are remarkably young for that. I am very impressed.
They are the chosen ones of the divine tree.
Exactly. This was my very first mission. I check it off as a success. We saved the world.
The divine quest.
Well, this is not a
Ashes
divine
on the
quest,
sacred
mind
place.
you. I don't know what this tree is you're talking about, but we do pay well. That being said, the box from Madison, I was told that you broke it.
It got destroyed in the fight.
It wasn't like on purpose. It just kind of and
Yeah, it was like flying around. It was crazy.
Yeah, the way that thing was swinging around, it was gonna break regardless anyway.
Right.
and it hurt.
Oh.
Hurt you? We got thrown out of it.
Whisper would nod at the "it hurt" comment. He would just nod very quickly.
So, that might be a little bit of a problem. There's one of 3 artifacts. I believe it was... and he was going to pull out a book and start reading through it real fast, like thumbing through it, and then find, like a name, and he'll say, yes. So Madison had, I guess this is, I think the box was a jail cell? Now, hear me out. I know it was probably pretty small, but it seems like it was holding somebody that was not supposed to be let out.
I completely agree. It would have been nice to know that before getting sent there.
Yeah, that's how we got these other 3, I'm guessing, back.
Well, I have to admit, we did not expect, 1, for you to have any issues. And 2, we didn't know that's why the weather was getting messed up. You understand, right?
An ancient artifact containing powerful beings in the same area with huge magical disturbances. You didn't think that was important to tell us?
Not at all.
And this is why your box is broken.
Right. So there are 2 more though that we might need to speak about now.
You need us to break them?
Yeah,
So
we
these
need
guys
us
are
to
really good.
No, please, let's not
prison
break them.
boxes.
But there are 2 other artifacts that we would love to have retrieved. Before maybe...
Who else is imprisoned?
Yeah, who are else in these boxes?
Well, no, so the box was a prison. There is also a seal, and I believe the other one is a halo atop Mount Laurel. The seal, I
We
think...
were just there.
Wonderful. So you know the way.
So when you say seal, do you mean like the art, or like a official letter? Like.
Whisper would just reach up and pat Meryl on the head and be like, "Okay, that's enough."
No, not the art. I think so the seal of Kronos is inside some blood crystals in the middle of that giant crater up to the north.
You got everybody's attention.
Kronos exists?
So,
Of
well,
course Kronos exists.
no, I believe that's his blood. That's the crystals. We don't really deal with deities or previous deities, but we do know that that's where all of these artifacts come from, you know. And it would seem that if you let whoever was inside of the box out...
Sapphire.
Well, that's
Bad.
fantastic to know. So there's that. The halo of Laurel is important as well.
What is it?
What does it do?
We don't know.
Who did
It's
it
just
used
at
to
the
belong
top
to?
of Laurel.
Did we break it?
You
No,
should
we're
not.
breaking it.
Oh my god.
What are we gathering them for?
If we broke the box, probably none of this would have happened.
Here's a question. If you have nothing to do with deities or previous deities, as you say, how do you know that that is the blood of Kronos in that crater?
We have
And why do
books.
we need it?
What books do you have that speak of God, previous deities, and that
Can I
tell
have
you their locations of their remains in this world?
He's gonna look over to Meryl. No, you cannot have any of my books. You, so
Can I read them?
We'll just borrow them. We'll bring them back.
And there's no other deity but the great tree. Who are all these other people?
I think
No,
he's
there's
going
a
to
lot.
he's gonna clap, and it's gonna make a large like push of force almost, and kind of like push whatever these questions are away as he goes. Right, I am going to go ahead and answer the young man here. It's not that we don't deal with deities. It's that we closed Omni off from... Well, we closed this part of Omni off from that issue. We tend to find that anytime a deity comes to Neverwhere, it tends to be for issues and drama and things that we don't have to take part in. But now that the box, it was kind of a nice balance. It did a thing, and apparently as it broke what our barriers were. I am not a magic caster myself, not a good one at least. Ooh, and it would seem that we are also in dire need of somebody to go check the southern barriers.
So you need somebody to check the southern barriers and gather the other artifacts.
Preferably, yes.
What's the order on that?
Have
Well-
anybody handled the sapphire issue?
So, I would think the issue of the deity's ex-wife might be solved by apprehending the artifacts before she gets them.
Valid.
Like, yeah. I guess we could, like, use them to seal her away or something.
We'll need a strong phylactery.
I get to go to my crater. I'm happy.
So, but yes, there are many of you. We have some already on the way to the mountain to retrieve. We still need some people to go to the south and check on the barriers and report back. And we really, really would love somebody to go to the crater and get the seal for us. Kasha, may I suggest maybe you lead the crater team? We are not very... There's not too many stories of people coming back from there, you know.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't take another, what was this, 12 years?
You've been gone for a... I commissioned busts of you all, yes?
Can you take mine down? Need the sword.
I was going to take all of them down here alive, and therefore do not have to be fallen heroes anymore. You can have the sword.
Next time you think I died, don't put another bust of me up. You know I don't like statues.
Well, it's just a bust. It's not a statue.
Ash is gonna go wherever Kasha goes.
I mean, I'm fine leading that expedition. Do you have a team that's going? Or do I put together my own?
No, it would be yours. We also kind of need another team to go to the south.
Who's leading that team?
Well, I was hoping you all would break up into groups.
Again, Ash is going wherever Kasha is going.
You're just gonna hear a giant sigh from Whisper and be like,
Well, Bramble was gonna be like, this deity, this person we're calling a deity. Do we know if she's evil? I mean, like, they came out of the box and they're all okay, I guess.
So, the box was a jail cell for the well, actually, we always thought it was the god of chaos from another realm. Apparently, it was not. The thing Kasha is referring to as Sapphire is not really. There's nothing good about her in history text.
And technically not a deity.
Yes, I guess that is very true. She does, however, she heralds a deity's name that is not very good.
No. I don't want to have to kill him again.
Again?
Again?
Right. Story for another time, Kasha. Story for another time. So, anyway, I would think that some of you are new and younger. Maybe you guys go to the south with one of these, or maybe you split up and somebody go to the crater with them. I don't really know. All we need is things to get done. Currently, everybody we have available is on their way to Mount Laurel to get the halo for us.
How many people did you send on one quest?
That
4.
seems like a lot.
There's only 4.
You only have 4 people available and your all looks like this?
Yeah,
A lot has happened in 12 years.
apparently.
Like what?
Well, Meryl, in the last 4 years, I'm sure you were born and lived the majority of your life.
Like famine
my favorite flavor.
and disease
Also my favorite flavor.
and us not having a lot to do other than figure out why the 3 of our friends disappeared.
But you didn't actually figure that out.
Not at all.
We figured that out.
Right. So, now you're here. would you all like to split up and go go and do these things for us? Yes.
I feel like since Kasha is leading the team to the crater, and Ash isn't going to separate from Kasha at all, I would put myself into the position to lead the team to the south border. That way, at least the other team has somebody on that team with adventuring experience.
Right. Like I was like, I don't know how I feel about any of us leading a group yet.
Ah. Wonderful.
I do not want to be in charge.
I will more than happily go and help Whisper with the southern border.
Okay. So,
I will be if I have to be, but I do not want to be in charge.
Fox. Excuse me, I don't know. What are your names?
Oh, my name is Thistle.
Kasha.
All right.
And that's Kasha.
Whisper would just bark.
I'm Meryl.
Pleasure.
I want to go see Kronos. I talk to him all the time. It's fun that he's real.
He was real at some point. Yes. Do we have books about him?
Can I read them?
Let's get through this part of what we're doing first.
Getting up into teams.
Okay. So, Kasha, when do you need time to prepare yourself to leave? Yes.
No.
Okay. So you don't need to stay the night or anything?
No.
Fantastic.
Awesome adventurer. She's ready to go at a moment's notice. I admire
I would look at him and be like, well, I need a boat.
Duvall has a wonderful boat for you. Don't worry.
And the question is, Coldmeadow crew, do you guys intend on splitting up from each other? Because I feel like you guys work very well together, and you should probably stick together. And I can't be in two places at once to watch all of you.
My crater.
Well,
I want to go so bad.
she can go with us in the crater if she needs to.
Kasha and Ash are already going to the crater, and Meryl, that's already 3. And then you add all the rest of us, who's going to go to the southern border.
I mean, I will
Just
leave
Whisper.
all the cautious care, and I will go to the southern border with Whisper.
Damn, me and Grom on an adventure. I'm
Did you
down.
just say you're going to give me an entire gaggle of children?
Well,
So,
wait a minute.
Elias,
Like,
wait.
this is not a
I
divine
don't have
quest.
experience being out, and so we can go get this done quickly and then meet up with you guys versus taking Meryl, Bramble, and Thistle along. We can move quickly as a duo. We can get in, get out, and we meet up with y'all faster.
Do you say the divine quest thing out loud?
Yes.
Great.
This is not a divine quest. Bramble's not, not 100% on board either way.
Yeah, little, I'm sorry. You are a hedgehog, right?
Obviously.
Obviously, yes.
She could be a hamster.
Ooh.
And I could
We will get that.
I have been on many quests, both divine and not divine, in their nature. I believe Kasha has too. I think that you will find that sometimes while you are traveling, the quest might not start out as that way, but ends up being a divine thing to do. Because after all, helping everybody is what all of the gods want. Even, you said the great tree, yes?
I did.
I would imagine that the great tree being in all of its splendor, after all, has roots that grow very far and wide, and it's only to give nourishment to all those that follow it.
This is very true.
I don't know what your tree also does with fruit, but I have eaten many fruit, and it has made me very happy. I would say it's the most divine thing ever, making my tummy full. and, and then you'd say, so I think that you will find going on any quest that helps others is a divine one. Yes?
I don't know. That was my first quest.
You did a fantastic job. You deserve a gold
didn't I?
star.
You did.
I did. That was great. Yes. I took down 4 bears. It was a lot.
Oh,
The number
my lord! He's gonna like touch his heart like I can't believe it.
One of them was Goopy.
Bears are monstrous creatures, I tell you. Some of my scars are from bears.
Oh, well, I was very fortunate to, be able to take them down in, one swing.
It must have been this great armor. He's gonna tap your chest.
Yep. That's about right.
Question, Meryl.
Right.
I have a question,
Oh.
Mr. Chairman, Patron.
Ooh, my name is Cragmore, yes.
Cragmore, when you say bears, did they have markings on them?
What? Oh, I was relating to a story.
Oh, okay, because I was wondering if you also encountered the same sort of bears that we did. We encountered one bear who was kind of eating the other bear, and they said there were also 3 bears in total, and they were kind of scary. So, did they also have tattoos, and maybe we're from,
Gosh, she's just
Another
gonna
place?
shrug when Cragmore looks at her like, I don't know.
That sounds very hard. I think a lot of things have tattoos. I have stripes, you see. Yes, very nice stripes. And some spots too on my back. Yes. If you get a better look at him as he like pulls back some of his the attire he has on, and he's like a jumble of all different kinds of like leopards and tigers, but his face is a snow leopard. He's like a just amalgamation of all of these different large cats at this point. Okay, well, and he's gonna like kind of look at Meryl inquisitively, and then he'll snap and be like, you were asking to read books, right?
yes.
Wonderful.
Books.
Whisper, why don't you take her upstairs to where some of the books are, and that way she stops asking me questions, yes?
Whisper would just nod and start taking her to books.
Fantastic. Please follow him.
I think I'm riding Whisper.
Even better. Bye-bye.
Some people don't like my questions. That's okay. I don't let it get me down.
That's good. Shit. He's gonna look at Kasha and be like, why don't you get some food and then you can leave towards the crater. I would suggest taking your boat a little bit further north. It's a longer walk from Madison, but if you hit the shore from the northern section, your boat should be fine anyway. It doesn't really have as many issues as regular boats do. Yes.
We can do that.
Great. This is so exciting. I'm so glad to see you all again. So good. And he's gonna do the little as he like gets all excited for himself.
It's good to see you too, Craggy. We'll be on our way.
You too, Ashley.
Nice to meet you.
It was a pleasure.
Gosh, she's just gonna leave and go get food.
He's gonna look over, and as everybody's leaving, he'll say, "Eli, was it? Excuse me. One moment with you."
Yes.
Right. I believe that you are the only person that would probably want to talk to me about some form of payment, yes?
Yes, now that you mention it.
Right.
Let's collect on the job we just completed, and then we can... I guess we're going where you want, so we'll see about more once we get back.
Right. When you get to the southern border, there are... it used to be a blank area of a wall that you could not go through, but you couldn't see through. It just looked like more road that didn't let you go. If you're able to get to the point where the grass changes, you need to turn around and come back.
Changes how?
The grass will go from being blue to a regular, vibrant green. And that means that you are entering the rest of what Omni is. Up in the north, there were no remnants of before. But as you enter into where Omni is now, there are going to be orcs and humans and elves and a manner of these things that are considered myth up here. But they do exist, and they are dangerous. Even when they're not dangerous, they often are just like every other human or every other being that has a sway. You should probably come back. And don't get caught up with orcs.
Kind of my thing, so.
I'm just saying, looking at... I guess these are not your kids, but looking at these heroes...
Yeah, it just makes it easier than trying to describe it. You can just call them my kids.
Great.
Don't tell them I said that.
And also knowing that Whisper is the one going with you, he's very... he's a wonderful, but he sometimes gets carried away. And I would just say not to get carried away with exploring more. But if the wall is still up, that's so wonderful to hear. And that's great. But we'd imagine that it's not, and that's all we need to know about.
What happens if we go too far past?
You will come to some hills and some mountains, and we have not... This part of Omni has not been part of that Omni in most written history. So we don't know what's there.
Okay.
Good luck, though.
I appreciate the information. This will help keep as many people alive as possible.
You should dock at Coldmeadow and say hello to them before you leave, yes?
That was the plan.
That is the proper way south. Wonderful. There is... If you talk to Duvall on the way out, I'm sure he has a boat for Whisper and yourself. Should be great. Okay, let's see. We are up in the reading room because it's not a library. It's like a room of books and like a chair. It's a nice big comfy chair though. Did Thistle follow you up there?
Probably.
Fantastic. There are tons of these like stacks of books and like just whatever. If you're looking for something specific, it's going to be a harder DC, depending on how long you get to stay. But if you just want to like rummage through books and try and get some keywords, I'll let you do that. What are we doing here?
I'm looking for a book on biting people.
Oh, fine. I will help. Yep. Great.
I'm looking for what I will be able to find, and like you like keywords and stuff.
Okay.
Things that sound familiar, just more information that I would not have ever had access to before.
Cool.
And while they're doing all this, I want to be meeting up with Duvall and just securing the boat, but also preparing as much extra rations, water, just other utility items that we may need.
How much of the last conversation did we hear?
Of the last bit, well, it was happening as everyone else was leaving the room, so it should just be me.
Well, Bramble would have been the only one of the.
Bramble would have been the only one that could have stayed with you. So it really is up to Bramble whether or not she walked away from Eli or not.
Well, and that's what I was thinking, because like if I heard Coldmeadow, I'm going south.
Then you would have heard that, yes.
And so that's why I was trying to figure out like how much of that.
Yeah, you would have been there for you.
Year.
I can't imagine Bramble walking away from Eli and leaving him alone. So I think you would have stayed and heard all that as well.
Bet.
So then, just to be sure, we have Whisper, Eli, and Bramble going south, and the rest of you going north. Great. I did a good job. Okay.
Hold up. When did we decide the two of y'all were going north? I know all I heard was Meryl say she wanted to go to the crater, but
Because Meryl wants to go to the crater.
To go see her god.
Exactly. I want to go to the crater. I doubt Thistle's without. So I just assumed Thistle was coming with, so that's 4 and 3. And I didn't think Bramble was going to leave Eli alone. Like,
You need fewer. There's only 2 of you. And I get to go to Coldmeadow and talk to the Divine Tree again about this whole situation. I to Coldmeadow, like.
Bet.
well then, if nothing else, Eli is going to insist that before y'all head out, you follow up. You guys be the one to take us to Coldmeadow, and let's see if we can get guardianship or something. Just because Eli really does not want to go back to Coldmeadow, missing 2 of the 3 charges he left with. This way, you guys can all make your peace. You can say goodbye to your family, let them know you've been successful heroes, and this is what you're going to do. And then you can leave out from there.
But you were okay going back with
Explain all of it.
Yeah, you were going to go back with none of us.
I wasn't going to stop by Coldmeadow. We were just going to keep moving south. We were going to move faster.
Do you think Way was going to let you do that?
He specifically said Coldmeadow,
He specifically said Coldmeadow.
which is why Bramble's now going back.
But that doesn't mean that's what we had to do. He said go get to Duvall and get a ship. If I didn't have y'all with us on the boat, I'm going to tell Duvall, all right, keep on going. We're not stopping there.
Yeah, because Whisper would have been full on down to just
He can
keep
tell me to
going.
go to Coldmeadow, but as long as he gives me a ship and we get the job done, that's all Eli cares about.
Well, Thistle can just message home, so Thistle's
Yeah, I can
covered.
just do a sending
I'm
spell.
covered.
I will talk to everybody's parents. Why are we having this problem? I'll explain it to
Why are
everybody.
we still talking
We're
about
so
this?
good.
All right. Cool. We can figure this out in a minute. Books.
Books.
All right. So you're looking for a book about biting there, Whisper? Cool. We'll get to you last because that'll be my punchline. Go ahead. Let's see. If I just give you a bunch of random words, you're gonna tell me which book you want to look at. Very cool. There's a book and there's a bunch of different books, and one of them is another atlas. That has it just says old maps on it. There is a couple books that you're rummaging through. One of them has like this gray cover, and I think that it would specifically be like mythological characters from outside of Omni. And then you would have a couple books that were written by Kasha about different timelines. And there would also be one book that is like leather bound and sealed, and it just says the great adventures of Citrine. And that one looks like it is probably in the best condition. And it has little paw prints all over the sides of like when you hold it together, you can see the like paw prints are all the side of the book when you put them all together. And then there's also a bunch of books with just names on them, and like one of them says like Nova, the great captain, and then the other ones say like different like places. I'm trying to think of like what some of the places would be. And one of them has like this picture of like this like really like very stereotypical looking vampire, and it just says the Count. And there's like novels that are like just like depictions of things, and then you start getting to the point where Whisper is, and Whisper, you'd find just a whole stack of books that are like Biting is Your Friend, Biting for the Fun of It, and they're all written by Rashek or Chris, and those are the authors. And so they all kind of have, like, when you put them all together, they have this whole scene, and it's like this very naked looking like pale skin, not a pale skin, but like this purple skinned elf, and he's like laying across a bed Fabio style, pointing. And that's like what is like the whole like side effect of the whole thing looks like when you have the whole set together. And there's one missing, and it's number 8, and you don't know why that one's missing, but that's just where that one spot is to censor the whole picture. And let's see, what other kind of books are in this place? Yeah. So go ahead, give me an idea of what you're looking for, and I can throw something at you.
I want mythical creatures outside of Omni, and I feel like any of the books that Kasha's written, she can tell me about. And then
that's super presumptuous. I love it.
Okay.
No, I was just making a joke about Kasha.
No. Pause. Because I believe in somewhere, not here, we have said, well, you've just never asked Kasha for this information.
I can't imagine.
She's just had this information you just never asked for. So now I'm going to ask for it. Now we're saying that's presumptuous?
No, I was just making a joke about Kasha. Like a totally just Kasha joke. Okay, mythological creatures.
Kasha would give any information that's asked, unless she was sworn to secrecy, which means there shouldn't be a book out there about it.
Right.
And the
Go ahead.
Oh no, please.
The last book. I'm sorry. I forgot. The last book is a very thick tomed book, and it says Kasha's stories from the labyrinth.
Fun.
And it has a little lock on it, and the only way to, and you don't have the key, obviously, but yeah.
Oh well, that's fun.
It looks like a journal.
Can I take it?
Big thing.
That's fun.
I mean, I can't stop you from taking it. Nobody's up there with you.
Cool. There's nothing about the old deities, which is what the chairman was saying, that he's read about it in books. There's nothing about those artifacts or old deities. Like there's no like bookcase I can pull and it comes to like a secret room, or it's not like in the desk or in the chair.
Roll investigation.
11.
You're going through a ton of books. I'll say you even opened some of the desk drawers. Inside the desk drawers are a bunch of like bags that have other books in them. That if you were to like dump the bags out, and more books just come out, and they're like little tiny ones. A lot of these are books written by Kasha, and they're just little drawings or notes. As you're dumping out one of the bags specifically, this book rolls out, and it's got these like really bad hand-drawn pictures with like stick figures, and it says like Camitopia, and it's got like a little like pretend like sketch of this place that then has a big X over it, and then it has another little sketch next to it, another X over it, and then a little sketch next to it, and then it says, you know what, this place just never has doors. That's all it says under it. And then it's just this like whole thing, like if you were to flipping through it, and then there's like this other like picture, and it's that it's like this big, it looks like a cannon on legs, and this person riding it with this other person with this giant hat, and there's just like it's just a whole manner of it's like a sketchbook at this point, but it looks like everybody drew sketches in this book, and there's no signatures or anything. It's just it looks like a sketchbook shared by a bunch of people.
Oh, can I shoot a message down to Kasha? Am I within 120 feet of her?
As long as she hasn't left for her boat, then yes, you would be within 120 feet of her inside the place.
Okay. I would shoot over a message and be like, "Hey Kasha, you said that Kronos was real. Have you ever written about him? There's a ton of your books up here. And I'd like to try and read the portions that have him involved. Or the old deities."
That's a lot of books.
Well, do you have them on you? Or is this the only copies up here?
I'm pretty sure I would have my originals, and the only things that should be out in the world are copies, correct?
Yeah. Except for some of the sketchbooks that are up here. That's what I was making.
Yeah, the things that I don't care about, that aren't my journals. I'm I should have the originals.
Okay, can I read about those while we're...
Yeah.
Great. So, I would
choose... It might take me a minute to pick through my bag and find them. I haven't gone into those in a while.
It feels like it would be helpful. Especially because all these gods are coming back.
Yeah.
Sure.
For sure.
Cool.
Hooray! Okay, so I want,
You want the book
mythical creatures, and I want the sketchbook. And because that seems like fun.
Right.
And I want to the citrine one is interesting, and the labyrinth one is interesting because I can't open it, and that automatically makes me...
That makes you want it. Okay. So you're going to pocket the labyrinth one, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Great.
Not the citrine one? Okay.
Thistle, what are you looking for?
I'm reading the citrine one.
I mean, if she's going to take all of those, I was kind of listening as you were rattling them off.
Yeah.
You didn't say you wanted the Atlas one, so I'll add that.
All right.
Is anybody going to notice you guys carrying out this stack of books?
We'll find out in a minute, I promise.
It'll be fine.
Well, I was reading some of them there, because I'm a fast reader. I just want to take the labyrinth.
Okay.
Yeah. So just to kind of cover whatever I guess Meryl doesn't get through.
Okay. You go through the atlas. I'll give you all the map that has in it. I pretty much already did that, but you get the whole version of Omni. That it doesn't have a lot of names on it, mind you, but you get the whole view of what Omni is. I think this would be the first time that any of you guys have seen this. The two of you specifically. Whisper, same thing. I think that this would be something, unless you are a very well-read wolf, this would probably be the first time you ever realize that there is a whole continent below where you are. Your version of Omni is now exponentially larger.
I am indeed a very well-read wolf.
Then you would have had some idea of this. I don't think you would know a lot of it though. There are little notes beside certain things. So if you connect them to where they are, with the legend. So then there's Dragon's Fall. This used to be an orc capital. Now it's just a capital of barbarians and different kinds of half breeds is what it says very specifically. There's another place very, very, very to the south. Like I said, it's marked Styles Rest. It has this very large dragon bones, and it says appeared here after a large break in the realms. And it just has little tiny notes next to different things. So as you go to places, if you want to read this, if you were to take it, it would tell you a little note about it. Not something super detailed, but it would have something small, like a little blurb about every place.
Fair. I'll take that too then.
It also has some hand-drawn sketches of different like races. So like you'd have like some hand-drawn sketches of like what orcs look like, what humans look like. And I think while you've read stories about these things as mythological, like, you know, like way back in the day things, it would occur to you that now this is a chance to see these things for real, that they are still living. Elves exist, fairies exist. Like, this is something that would probably blow your mind a little bit, Thistle.
Oh yeah, like she would definitely be ready to get as many pictures down as she could get, take as many notes on whatever she could find, because you said up until this point she thought all this was completely fake, like it was just stories your parents would tell you to go to sleep. But
the book of mythological creatures and stuff would have just a little index of old realms, and it would say like, you know, from through this shuffle of this realm, the elemental plane through shuffle 3, and you don't really know what shuffle means. It's just there. That's what it's noted as. And then it would have like and it would, as you go further, it goes back. So it's like reading from like the newest stuff at the top. So it's like somebody's writing this as it's going, if you get what I mean. And they're adding the indexes to the front. So you're reading through this table of context, and the further you go back, the older the pages get, the older the shuffles get lower in number, back to shuffle 7. And then that's it. It cuts off there. As you thumb through it, you notice the creatures get different. And then as you get as far back as like once you get to like shuffle like 5 or 6, it starts talking about the old ones, and you start seeing these creatures of like tentacles and eyes and gnashing teeth, and they kind of start to look more abstract. But the further up you get, they're like, you know, chimeras and like all these different things. You saw a cockatrice. It's in this book, actually. But then there are also things like humans and humans from, and then it would say like humans from this specific timeline. It has like younger people that also have like elven ears or like fins, and like it shows like that humans were half elves, or then it has like a whole section about dragons and dragonborns. And these, you realize this would probably be one of the first times Meryl even realized that like, hey, like a dragonborn, like that's probably the first time you've ever read about this. This is a dragon humanoid that it's kind of like a pop of amazement a little bit. And then it goes into like the different kinds of dragons, and it has like their colors and their like, and what they mean, and like what kind of, so this becomes like kind of almost like it's like one of those things, like, you know, when you used to read through like dinosaur books as a kid, and it tells you all about that type of dinosaur, and then like it gives you like little like things about them. This is the same thing about every race and every manner of different, and shuffles are like what time they come from, and that's the best you can make out at this time. So if you give me an idea of like silly stuff that you're trying to look for, because like I said, it's very much written as like this is the tome, you know what I mean, of like this is like an encyclopedia, and everybody knows encyclopedias have very detailed descriptions of things that may or may not be real or right when it comes down to history. But there is a lot of information in this. It is fairly large. And it's like a big square too, so you're like holding it open.
Well, first, because I don't want to take too long, I will end up pocketing that sketchbook, because I will, because they're fun. And if it was in a bag, it means that no one was looking for it, so mine now.
Okay.
And in the specific book, she would be interested by the old ones, because she would be looking for talks of God, of Kronos, and she heard Kasha say Sapphire. So those are the names that she has to go off of.
In Shuffle, if you go all the way back to the original Shuffle, it'll talk about Sapphire, and it'll have these large pictures of bugs. And when I say bugs, I mean like these like grotesque, crazy looking, very large things. And then it would have this really pretty picture of like this like hand-drawn picture of Sapphire, and you'd realize that page is completely different than the other pages. It definitely was added, but as far as all of this goes, this page is a very specific kind of paper, and it has almost like magical ruins through it inlaid in it so that it can never weather. And it talks about her being a queen, but not of what. And then it has all of these different like bugs, and it almost has like the like sections of them off, and then that's it. But now you have a picture of her. So you pocket the stuff. You all start to leave because I believe at this point, Whisper, you would be like, we need to go talk to Duvall. How do you pocket the 3 books that you've all decided that you're stealing?
Well, I imagine the sketchbook's small.
The sketchbook is small, yes.
It fits in my robes.
Very good.
Did
you say you were taking this large book of mythological creatures?
No, not that one.
Oh, okay. Oh, great. You're taking the...
I read everything I needed in that one.
You're taking the giant tome of... That Kasha, the labyrinth?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So
cool.
And the biting book, too. At least one of them.
And the biting book. I imagine you just walking out with that in your mouth, then?
Oh, yeah.
Great.
However the atlas is, I'm gonna try to...
The 3 of you roll stealth.
Whisper is very, very stealthy as a person.
Right,
I got a 12.
Jesus, I didn't roll high. Okay.
I got a 21.
I'm really just picturing Dissa with like this giant tome that's like bigger than they are. Just like do. Nobody can see me.
Right.
I mean, I feel like I imagine my bag is full of other books, so I could just stuff it in there amongst them, and who would rifle through and look? I came in with...
What'd you get, Meryl?
I got a 23.
Very cool. So you guys come down the stairs. It's like a winding staircase, and it's next to like the main room. And as you're coming down, you can see Cragmore's back to you guys as he's like sitting at his table, and he's like talking to himself. He's like, yes. Drink, little T-Rex, drink. And he's like playing with like his little like toys basically that he has, because he carves like these little wood toys. And he's like sitting there like just making his whole little scene, like laughing to himself, thinking he's alone. And having just a ball. And you guys go straight past him, because I definitely rolled a like natural 12 for perception. So I would say with 2 of you over 20 and the other one at 12, I think you get me. You guys slip on out. Eli, you were talking to Duvall right out front of the room. Duvall's like, no, we have a wonderful ship. You can take it. You know.
I thank you. Let's make sure to get it stocked up with any extra provisions that you can spare. We don't know how long.
Right.
And the last time someone left on a journey from here, they were gone for 12 years. So,
from what I heard, though, they didn't need any food while they were gone.
Yeah, but we can't be certain that it'll be like that this time. So let's be prepared.
Right. Okay. Here. And he hands you it's like this little like writ scroll. He says, "You and Whisper take that down to the docks. Tell them that you need the vault's the best ship, and hand them this, and they will get it for you. It should have a decent crew, and it will be. Just tell them to stock it. And you're going to Coldmeadow, you said."
We may make a stop there. I'm gonna open it up. Can you let me know, like, in so many words, or exactly what does this writ say specifically?
Yeah. It has a number, and that's the ship number, and it says to make sure that there is a skeleton crew on it to get you to wherever you need to go. And then it has signed by Duvall of the vault liaison and mouthpiece and blah 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 blah. His whole little title.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
I'll hold on to this and I'll close it up and stick it down in my bag.
Roll
Here
insight.
is, I'm gonna be chewing
Since
a
you did that,
lot
roll
of-
insight.
Yeah, Bramble's like, we're getting the best ship.
Y'all are getting a
That's
shitty
a
ship.
5.
Cool. Yeah, man, everything looks really up to snuff.
It's good enough for my purposes.
Right. Cool. So that's Bramble, Whisper, and Eli doing that, and the rest of you taking Kasha's ship up north. Very.
Before I left Meryl and them, I would have made sure to give Meryl the book on biting people.
I was gonna say,
Like-
why don't you all take a moment at the dock to say goodbye to one another, and then we'll talk about sleeping on the boat and all that before we take off. And yeah.
I feel like, I guess Thistle would kind of go up to Eli, and she probably doesn't seem like the kind of person that likes to hug, but she would still hug him. And just say, thank you for helping us get this far. I know it was difficult. We put you through a lot, but I promise to be on my best behavior.
Thistle, I think I have to worry about you the least.
And then she would hug Bramble.
Bramble is
Thank
being so
Bramble.
insulted.
The divine tree is going to lead you to the most amazing places. I'm so excited to hear about your amazing journey.
You guys take care of what you gotta do and then head straight back here. Because even if you've talked to your parents, I'm still technically supposed to be watching you. So this is the meetup location. If anything goes wrong, or if you finished early, you come straight back here, you wait until we get here. Meryl, I want a sending spell from you every day, just so I can keep tabs and make
I'll be
sure
doing-
you guys are okay.
I will be sending spells for Meryl and I.
I actually don't have sending, which is
I
very...
will be keeping us in contact.
Okay.
Yes, Way.
Huh?
Yes.
That look.
I saw the look on your face.
Nothing. I just thought it was a very touching scene.
Unless you want to
I'll
give me
give you a hug,
something.
and I'll give Meryl a hug. And I'll walk over to Ash, because even though Ash and I haven't really had much connection, Ash likes to drink and doesn't give a fuck what anyone else thinks, and Elias likes that. So he's just going to give you a flask of blue water and say, be safe.
She's gonna kind of give you she's gonna hold it up and kind of give you a cheers, and she'll take a swig at it. She'll be like, yeah, you too. And she's gonna turn around and leave. She's like, this is getting weird. I'm out of
You
here.
wouldn't expect any other response, and that's exactly why he likes that. Not placating anyone's feeling, and Ash appreciates that. It's the same reason this is the same reason a lot Eli really likes Kasha, because Kasha also just does not care. So
That's why Ash and Kasha get along so well. That's why they're
I look at
inseparable.
Kasha and just be like, alright, be safe. Well, that's kind of your thing. But I hope it's not another 12 years before I see you again.
It wasn't that long for me. Which boat are you guys on?
We're gonna take Duvall's boat, and we've got a nice little writ here, which by this point in time I have used illusory script on to make them give us all the best shit. I'm having illusory script on this thing, and I'm not changing it too much. It says to give us the ship and a skeleton crew, but I'm also adding in that any requests within the vaults, available,
Means.
yeah, anything within the vaults means will be provided to this crew.
Okay.
And it's just leave the seal and everything else up there.
So you hand that to this large, it's like a lizard with a big snout. And he takes it and looks it over and goes, it's that boat down there. And this boat is a much smaller boat than what you would have imagined. But it does have enough space below deck for, you guys plus 2. There's definitely 2 people on that boat ready to help crew it. It's got a single mast. So, like, what kind of requests are we talking here?
Right now, I just need a better ship than that. This is a ship for one of your heroes and one of your new heroes going off to become heroes again. We could use a better ship.
Roll persuasion.
Can I give him advantage on that and just go over there and be like, add some gold and be like, here you go, like get
Sure.
you a better ship?
Yeah, okay.
I imagine, would Duvall be down here at the docks to see us all since we're
Not at all. Duvall
Okay.
is asleep at his desk. I think Duvall is actually probably just happy he doesn't have to go on a trip again.
Yeah, you have advantage.
Oh, that's a 9.
Was that? Hold on one second. Because I was trying to use to see if I could use one of like the fake gifts. No, that doesn't work for that.
He's gonna look at the gold that Kasha hands him. Look, man, I can't give you a different ship, but it does say I can give you anything within the means to put on that ship. What? You gotta meet me halfway here.
Whisper, is there anything in particular that
Can
you
I-
think we need?
Can I growl at him when he says he can't give us a different ship?
Okay.
Maybe, like,
I want to intimidate him a little bit.
Alright, roll intimidation.
Hell yeah. That is definitely a 10. I am a puppy dog.
Cool.
While he's growling, even though the intimidation didn't work, I'm sure he looked down at Whisper.
Yeah.
I use that moment to cast Silent Image to make it look like Duvall standing at the end of the dock. And since I can make the illusion move, I'm going to call out to him and be like, Duvall, what's the holdup? You said we could get whatever we wanted. And I'm just going to make it look like Duvall just puts a thumbs up.
God, are we really doing this, huh?
Meanwhile, we got like the best ship.
Roll persuasion again.
With
Not with advantage, just persuasion. I like the way she was like, but you can do it with an advantage. I'm like, no, you can't.
Brian.
Bro, it's the same 8 of
What
us.
the hell what were we doing right now?
It's time to give it up, guys. Take your ship and go.
Ask for a better crew.
Wait, for the record, I feel like Bramble has not tried. Right?
What
Bramble's, like,
were
the only
you?
one-
Okay, Bramble, what in the world are you gonna say at the moment for this to work?
I guess Bramble would get as the other adult here. You know,
I feel like that would immediately be disadvantage.
Bramble, what are we doing?
I'm like thinking on spot here. My, compatriots are correct in that we use a better ship, and we were promised obviously the best ship. And the divine tree, the one that protects us all, has requested a better ship.
Roll persuasion with disadvantage.
I'm a laughing
Yeah,
so
just
hard.
because I love that we started with as the other adult here. I just need. I'm sorry, it's perfect.
That is so 19, and then we'll see what the other one was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, sorry, that was perception. I was supposed to be working
Darn.
persuasion, right? Oh, that's even worse. Hold on, let me roll this again. All right, and then
It's a 2. What is going on?
He's gonna stop and be like, "All right, guys, look, for real, you can take whatever you want from port, just not a different boat. This is the boat that's on the thing. It's the numbers. This is this boat.
Meryl wants to come up.
The crew's already there.
Oh no.
You're not even going with them.
The
You're
crew's
going
already
with us.
there. Just go.
I know.
Just tell me what you want on the boat, and it'll be there, so that I need to go about my day.
Yeah.
Put as much stuff as that can fit on the boat.
As much stuff that can fit on the boat. As much stuff you want on the boat. Sure. Great. Guys, put all the stuff on the boat.
Oh,
Right.
Jesus Christ, what have you just done to us?
I've given us resources. Who knows what we can MacGyver out of this shit?
You didn't specify. You just said stuff.
Great. Put all the stuff and all the and a bunch of the seaweed on the boat so they can eat. And you know, you guys have a great What'd you say?
As much unspoiled meat as possible.
You know what? We want you on the boat.
And a bunch of meat on the boat. I live here. You'll be fine. It was a pleasure meeting you folks.
Field trip.
Hardly.
Field trip
You were
time.
worried about us setting off. You were worried about us.
Asha's gonna like pet Whisper and then walk away.
Okay.
Yeah, Ash she's already left this group of people.
Great.
Whisper is gonna nod at Kasha, and before Ash was able to leave, Whisper would have bit her on the ankles and left.
If you do that, Ash is gonna hit you.
Well, Whisper doing it anyways.
Alright.
Okay. Ash hits Whisper. Whisper bites Ash. We're good. Y'all go your separate ways. You get to your boats. The inside of... What?
Meryl and Thistle come with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Meryl and Thistle are going north to the crater, while
Yes.
while Bramble, Whisper, and Eli go to Coldmeadow. As far as I know, well, I guess we'll make the decision mid-journey. Everybody, thank you all for joining us for the first episode of Chapter 2, Episode 5. It was really fun, and we'll pick this up again next week with
I just
what
realized I'm gonna
happens.
have to captain my boat next week.
Bye, everyone. Love you guys.
Bye.